Hi guys and welcome to another episode of the Boxing Coalition. My name is Cam. Joining me tonight, my bae, Daniel Lim. What's happening, Dan?
Wow. Not much. I'm ready for the for the fight this weekend, and it's gonna be probably the greatest night in boxing history. So I can't wait for that.
Are you nice and loose? Have you been doing those Conor warm-ups before the pod?
I'm gonna knock him out inside 4 rounds. Mark my words.
And at the end of the show, you're gonna say that you're picking Conor, aren't you?
No, look, I've gone full casual. I mean, we'll talk about this a little bit later, but when Conor fights, I kind of just lose all objective, thought processes, like logic just completely goes out the window. So when he speaks, it's like some kind of person speaking at a evangelical convention, and I just lose all greater thought process to what I'm seeing on screen. So anyways, we'll talk about that later. But yeah, excited to talk about what happened over this past weekend. Got to see one of the pound for pound best fighters in the world in Crawford, and yeah, I just can't wait to speak upon that and everything else that's going on in the sport.
Yo, we're live, Nikki. Just hold the line and mute yourself. Let's get into it then. Crawford, Indongo.
Sure.
Not much to break down, really, is it?
No, not at all. I'll just keep it super short and simple. I think Crawford is. You can make the case that he's number one pound for pound. I know pound for pound is subjective, and especially the way that I think the sport is right now, there isn't a clear-cut number one pound for pound fighter. I've always been critical of Crawford's resume because to date his best opponent is Victor Postol, including the Indongo fight. I think the Indongo fight on paper was necessary because obviously he had the other 2 belts. So I was an advocate of this fight, and I'm glad it happened. I'm glad Crawford cleared out the division, but at the same time, Indongo is garbage. I think Indongo sucks, and maybe I'm being overly critical, but his punches, the fact that he throws so fucking wide is just baffling to me. I don't understand how somebody can be a lineal champion in this day and age with that kind of technique. I don't understand it. I'm not quite sure for the first knockdown where he got hit to the body and he got dropped, but he threw a 1-2 combination, and then he tried to follow that 1-2 combination with the hook, and none of it was proper technique. When he threw that straight right hand, his left hand was low, and then he proceeded to throw a hook afterwards. Like, I don't even see like high-level amateurs making those kind of mistakes.
Yeah, the straight left because he's southpaw. But no, I agree. And
well, I'm sorry. Yeah, the straight left. So the opposite of what I just said. It's like nothing was proper. Everything was wide, and Teddy was going on and on about how accurate and precise Crawford's punches were. I think Crawford is obviously a technical fighter, but he's not like a Garcia type where everything is compact. It just looked that way because his opponent was such shit in that department. I don't know, man. I think Indongo is better than that. But even then, that's not saying much because there's really nothing for me to judge how good Indongo was prior to that. Ricky Burns is a washed up fighter at this point at 140. I'm not going to say bum because he's not a bum.
Yeah.
I just like to say that he's a bum because for comedic effect, but obviously he's not a bum. But right now, he's not a very good fighter. And previous to that, Shabransky is his best win. Like, what the fuck is that, man? So this fight just kind of pisses me off because like for you to become a lineal champion while fighting a level, an opponent of that kind of ability is really annoying to me, and it really makes me not, seeing. I mean, I wanted to see the fight, but it just pisses me off from the standpoint that this is what he had to go through to become the lineal guy at 140. But speaking about Crawford, these things don't have to be binary at all. Crawford, I love his killer instinct. I really love the way he just jumps on his opponents when he hurts them. But I want him to move up because he's that fucking good. Don't wait around for Mikey because there's no one else to really fight at 140 at this point. Who's he going to fight? Lipinets? Are you really going to wait around for Sergey Lipinets? I think Crawford is so good that he can move up to 147 and potentially clean out the division. Maybe the Errol Spence fight is probably 50-50, and I might even favor Errol in that fight. But other than that, I think Crawford has the skills to beat all the other guys at 147 right now.
Yeah, you said Shabransky, but it was Troyanovsky, Indongo.
Troyanovsky. Shabransky is the 170 fighter. My bad. Yeah.
But just going to what you said, I was surprised and how Indongo was lunging in for such a tall guy. You think, I know that the reach wasn't that different. I think it was only on paper that box rec listed as 1.5 inch difference between Indongo and Crawford, but for such a tall dude, he doesn't need to lunge in like that, and he was just open to counters from Crawford. His right hook counter was good. Obviously, he came out the gate southpaw as well, and to me, I'd probably just class him as a southpaw fighter now, because I really started concentrating him after that fight he had with Prescott, and like since then, majority of the fights, even a long times in the Burns fight, he was fighting southpaw as well. But he just seemed so comfortable in that stance. And going back to Indongo, I remember when he fought Troyanovsky, we were kind of stunned, but you couldn't take much away from it because there was not much of a fight. And when I kind of studied him before the Burns fight, I said all these things. I said he's pretty wide with his hooks, he lunges in, and as you say, MB2, if you're listening, cover your ears. Brian King, cover your ears. But fucking Ricky Burns has gone pretty shit now, and with the way he schooled Burns, it kind of left a question mark. Was Indongo really good, or did he just use his length and his attributes really well? And it just seems the latter, because he looked pretty shit against Crawford.
Yep.
But
I agree with everything you just said, and I was just gonna pose the question, like, to be fair, I can't be overly critical of Indongo because I don't know much about the guy. Like you mentioned, I've only seen the Troyanovsky fight, which obviously ended very early, and the Burns fight. And the question that I had leading up to this fight was, what kind of style is Indongo, or what style does he usually utilize in a fight? And it made me wonder if the fighting style that he utilized against Burns was strictly because Burns was at that point in his career and he was so easy to outbox. So I don't think that's naturally Indongo's style. That was just a style that was easily accessible for him for that fight. But he just looked like crap, man. Like, he looked like a C-level fighter on Saturday. So that's more of a shame for Crawford, because it's obviously not Crawford's fault that his opposition is such crap and that weight division is such crap. So it's just one of those things where, it's like, this guy is the lineal champion, and that should mean something in this day and age. And yet there's still questions about kind of just how great Crawford is. We all know, obviously, Crawford is great, but usually when you clean out a division, it should be a very, very substantial milestone in your career.
That's a great point, because I was looking at Crawford's resume, and I actually don't think he's been in a tough fight yet. Like, if you look at all the fights, they were either a schooling or probably maybe Delorme, where Crawford really did nothing for 3 rounds, and when he actually started doing something, he started putting the beating on Delorme. So
I'd say Gamboa was reasonably difficult. But
I don't think it was
physically tough.
I don't think the Gamboa fight was that tough. And he dropped dude multiple times.
Well, eventually he did, after getting, clipped multiple times, for the first several rounds.
Yeah,
and again, it was just, Gamboa is a 126 fighter,
Yeah.
So,
But I kind of get what you're saying, though, Cam. The thing is, we haven't anywhere reached close to what his ceiling is, to what his roof is.
Yeah.
We haven't really seen, not necessarily entirely like all of his talents be brought out of him yet, because nobody's been forced him to that edge quite yet. And it's kind of unfortunate because as Lim kind of alluded to, Indongo turned out to just not be that good, and the style that he utilized against Burns, it turned out not to be especially effective. It was effective in a vacuum against Burns, but it wasn't so much effective on an elite world class level where you could say, like, oh yeah, he would beat this guy and this guy and that guy. If they were to, like, he would be able to use that style and defeat Broner using it. Broner would beat the dog shit out of him if you were to match the two of them up tomorrow. But it's in a way it's kind of funny, because it's kind of fortunate that Crawford had such an easy division to unify completely, but it's also unfortunate because at the end of the day, you can't necessarily help but take a little bit away from the accomplishment as it stands, simply because of the fact that you could see the quality. There's shifts and tides in every weight class, and so, like, one year 140 is hot, the next year 140 is completely abandoned, and everybody's at 147 or 135. That's just the way that every division goes. It goes in flux. A few years ago, flyweight was the hot division, and now it's super flyweight. It happens to the surrounding divisions at any given time. But I mean, shit, Indongo, Crawford, pretty much solved one of the question marks, though. About Indongo, like, one of the big things was like, well, can he take a punch? And it turned out that he couldn't. As soon as Crawford started touching him, not even necessarily hitting him super clean, but as soon as he started touching him, Indongo looked like his whole fucking world was about to, like, cave in on him. And so, there's really not a whole hell of a lot to recap other than Crawford is a damn good fighter. He's definitely, one of the best fighters in the sport. And, he just completely annihilated Indongo and showed absolutely zero regard for the man. And and that he didn't waste time doing it either. He basically won every second of that fight as it pretty much stood. Maybe not so much that he kind of gauged him out the first round, but even at the end of the first round, you could tell he pretty much had him figured out. So he definitely didn't start slow this fight either. And maybe that's owed partially as well to the fact that Crawford is a better fighter than he used to be. So now it's like he's able to gauge a lot of those things and get the timing down that much faster. And, now he's coming into his own insofar as man strength, power, all that stuff. And, he's just getting better. And so that's somewhat of the scary thing about him. He's still getting better. He's still improving.
Leon's jumped on the line. Leon, Crawford versus Indongo. Not much to say, but
yeah,
give us your thoughts.
Yeah, well, not much to say. Not much to say. I'm still struggling to see the punch that did it. I've watched it about 100 times.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It's so difficult to see, isn't it?
Watching it live, that left hook was so short and fast. It was nice, man.
Yeah. Even super slow-mo, I've struggled to catch it, really. Yeah, he looked like the fighter I've always thought a lot of us believed he is. He's one of the best guys around, isn't he? Anyway, he can do whatever he likes.
Yeah.
I don't see huge flaws. I think maybe a little bit he could be open to being tagged. I think a guy of similar size or bigger, although Indongo is taller than him, he didn't look stronger or more powerful.
Yeah.
I've just seen it again. I've just watched it. Okay, I've just seen it.
Yeah.
That's the first I've watched it and seen
one of
the
those guys
punch.
that I like to. Indongo's one of those guys I like to use an example. He's not big for 140. He's tall for it.
He's stretched, isn't he? Yeah, he's stretched out.
Yeah, and Indongo did catch him with a nice sweeping right hook, though. I think it did.
Yeah, I don't think he's
that. A bit.
He's not trying to be the most offensive guy around, is he?
Yeah. He doesn't have that skill. He doesn't have those skills necessarily. Like, he has to be like all the way on the outside in order for him to really be evasive like that. Really, his bread and butter is mid-range to inside. That's where he's really able to press the issue on people.
God, that is short, that punch, isn't it?
Yeah. Because initially I thought it was the right hook.
But he's
after
slightly
that
off
did
balance,
the damage.
Yeah. He looks a little bit off balance when he's throwing it. In a weird way. Sorry, I've just got a good HD version of it at last.
HD.
Yeah. Bingo. Yeah, no, he's very good, isn't he? What does he do now?
Well, I was going to ask
you. He has to move up.
Well, Lim, will Crawford versus Alvarado be coming to a ESPN channel near you sometime soon?
Yeah, I think it's going to be on the Ocho, from what I heard last.
Nice.
But just a second, before we say he moves up, right? Who can he genuinely fight up there? That's easy to make. So he'd have to fight someone like Vargas first, wouldn't he?
Yeah, or maybe Jeff Horn. That's actually a really good point. Because, I think one fighter that actually has a lot of parallels with Crawford is Timothy Bradley. When Timothy Bradley was at 140, he was also a very, very good fighter.
Would we rather see him fight Vargas or Matisse at 140? Because did Matisse go at 147 last fight?
Yeah, Matisse.
He might have go at 147 because that's the only guy I'd like to see him fight because I thought he looked good in his last fight, but he's not at 140.
Yeah. Well, Vargas has been at 147 too. So.
Yeah, I know. That's what I mean. I just see that's a natural fit, isn't it? That Bob would feed him to Vargas to Crawford without thinking about it,
Right. Yeah, so I just think he's in a situation where it's two situations that aren't perfect just because Top Rank is pretty void of 147 fighters. And, you saw Tim Bradley. He had a rematch Pacquiao twice. just because Top Rank doesn't have any 147 fighters, but that's still better than the alternative.
Yeah, but I think there have been some Heyman Bob fights made recently, haven't there? Like, hey, you know, I think Crawford would want the fights enough to not let Bob stand in the way of it, you know. And now they're on ESPN.
The only fights that would happen, fights that would happen between him and Bob though are ones where Crawford is going to be heavily favored.
Yeah, like he's not going to go into a close fight, I don't think. Against
he's not. They're not throwing him in against Spence. They're not throwing him in against Thurman.
I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. Did you hear that?
He's gonna be fighting Aaron Martinez.
Well, let me finish. Let me make my point. He said Bob said in a recent interview that he's got 2 fighters that would fight anyone, and that's what, you know, he's going to retire soon, and he thinks he's got 2 guys who would fight absolutely anyone. So if he's saying that, I think there's a chance that he would put him in against the tough guys. Maybe not straight away. I think, you know, Bob's coming. You know, Bob's going to go out on a high.
Yeah, perhaps. Yeah. Maybe.
But lizards don't die, do they? So I mean.
This is just a question that I have, but do you guys know, in those situations that you just alluded to, what the dynamics were in terms of between Bob and Heyman partnerships? Because I do think probably in those scenarios, the majority of those.
I can't remember. I just feel like they've happened.
It was usually Heyman just kind of throwing his guy out.
What I'm trying to say, it's where Bob had the A side clearly, right? Whereas Heyman probably had the C or D level fighter. So, when it comes to those one-on-one scenarios, like, they're probably not going to happen.
Do you think Heyman doesn't? I think Heyman doesn't give a shit, you know, like, about that stuff. I think Heyman is probably more looking at it as a manager. It's like, right, if you want to get paid, that's fine. Where Bob's trying to protect his asset, like, as a promoter. I think that might be the different thing. I think Heyman might just really not give a fuck.
No, somewhat. It depends on the fighter.
Yeah, depends on the money, right?
Broner got chance after chance after chance, even though he never deserved them. And, I mean, you could say somewhat of the same about Leo Santa Cruz, and there's a couple other guys that are like that.
What I'm saying is, if Bob goes, right, here's the money, Al, I think he could get anyone he wanted. It feels like. I think Heyman is probably more open to it than we've been made to believe, you know, from the beginning. I think the proof's in the pudding. I think he's open.
Yeah.
Let's hope. Because Crawford is so damn good.
As far as I'm concerned.
Crawford is so fucking good that he has a potential to go down as one of the best of all time. Yeah.
I think he could beat everyone at 147. I know everyone's hyped up on Spence, but, you know.
No, I think so too.
Let's be real, like, about.
I think he's technically better than Spence.
Oh yeah, no, definitely. No, I absolutely think he's better. He's better technically, but Spence, I think, is probably a lot bigger.
Exactly. The size and the power and everything, you know.
And the thing is like, I don't like, because we've seen in the past where a certain fighter is clearly better skilled than another guy, but sometimes that weight difference really does play a factor. So, but yeah, I mean, to say that he would clear out a hot division, without pause, except for the best guy at that weight class, says a lot about the guy.
Yeah, but look, let's be honest. Furman has been a huge disappointment because KOs for life is a trade descriptions, you know, issue there, isn't it? I mean, he's been proven to be able to be hurt. I mean, if he'd landed that body shot that he landed on Indongo, Furman's not getting up. I don't think so. I think Garcia's a 140 guy like he is. I think he could beat everyone.
Yep, I agree.
I know, because I think also if you think Spence waits it, maybe it doesn't happen for a year. Spence might be tight at the weight, so that could be in his favour as well. You know, the size thing. So they might not even meet. Cause,
they might miss each other for a couple of years.
Middleweight by, you know. So.
They might meet at 154.
Yeah, they might. Yeah, for a few years they might miss each other.
Because I see Spence being at 160 by the end of it, don't you?
Maybe eventually. Like
Close,
I think Spence will probably be at 154, and if he stays undefeated, then he'll do like, I'm gonna do this for my legacy and jump to 160 at that point.
Yeah, because 154 is like the demented ginger stepchild of the division, isn't it? No one hangs around in there. No, that doesn't do anything for anyone, that division, does it?
I mean, it all depends on the.
It's good guys, but I mean,
it all depends on the fighter size and everything, you know. Yeah. So a lot of times you'll get guys either finishing their career there or starting it there. So
yeah.
The main reason why.
Yeah, absolutely. But, he's very good. That's the takeaway, isn't it? Because I know the Yanks have been calling.
Bingo.
I heard quite a lot of the Yanks calling Indongo a bum like before the fight started, and now they're going to call him a bum again. But I mean, how do we rate this win? He smashed a good guy up, man.
Yeah, he was still a reasonably good fighter. I mean, it just shows you the level of skill that it takes to like truly be like pound for pound elite level. You know,
because that's an elite punch.
Yeah,
that's an elite punch.
The gap between Crawford and Indongo was so vast that like it shows that even sometimes being like a high level guy at a given weight class isn't necessarily enough.
I think he's a bum.
Yeah, for such a big dude as well, he was dipping so low. Like that was that knockdown in a second where he dipped so low, he got caught on the head, and when you're so low, then you can't really react with your feet, and you get dropped.
He was wide, Cam. He was throwing wide shots, and he wasn't doing that against Burns and the Russian dude, was he? It was all kind of like straight stuff. He seemed quite. Maybe it's because of what Crawford was doing to him in there, but he just seemed a bit wild. From the 3 or 4 fights we've seen to now, it was a different performance from Indongo.
He had that deer in the headlights look like, oh shit, like I better throw some big shot at him, and he just started throwing Hail Marys and it didn't work.
Yeah,
all right,
but I still reckon he hangs around and gives everyone nightmares at 140. Like, I still think he can be a guy there.
Who would know?
Eddie Hearn would probably.
I mean, maybe not. The thing is, like, now that they know that his chin is very glassy, to put it lightly.
I don't think it's his chin. I think the body shot maybe, but
no, I think he was hurt from the chin from the jump, and he never recovered from that. The body shot just kind of convinced him to stay down. And I think it was a combination of both, really. And then the second thing is, when you take that big of an L after being undefeated that whole time, that can shatter your confidence in a major way.
No, I don't know. I don't know about the chin thing. I think that body shot was. I think he was all right. I think the body shot.
But Leon, I kind of agree with you. I could see like if he uses that technique he did against Burns and just keeps the guy on the outside, like I think he could beat a lot of guys at 140. Still.
Yeah, exactly.
And then
it's just he just fought a special guy, didn't he?
Yeah. But let's go down on the card then, Lim. Let's talk about Alexander Gvozdyk versus Craig Baker. Wow, what a fight!
Didn't watch it.
You casual. Leon, I'll go to you.
You don't want to.
Because you haven't seen it, or you just got negative? Are you watching it now?
Yeah. Trying to.
Busy weekend. Naota then. I'll leave it to you.
No, I had a busy weekend too, man. I didn't even get a chance to see it.
Seriously?
Let me ask you a question, though. Who the fuck is Craig Baker?
No idea.
Bum.
No idea.
Is he good? No. I'm not trolling. I'm not trolling him.
He's a murderous puncher, Lim. No, I'm just fucking around.
Is he substantially worse than Gvozdyk's previous opponents? Or was it more of just like a tune-up for Gvozdyk?
I think it was a tune-up, but it should have been, a platform for him to look really good. But I just think he played out in the wrong fashion. He just took his time, just tapping, doing what Loma sometimes does in the initial rounds and what Usyk sometimes does, tap. And when he actually turned it on and started throwing those clubbing shots, it was easy, but just do that from the start. Just blitz the guy. You're on ESPN. Okay, Loma's figures weren't that good. We thought maybe the cable views would be better than the subscription of HBO. They didn't really turn out that way, but you're on a decent platform. Go in there, blitz the dude, show everyone that you're a power puncher, and it'll get you, bigger things. Yeah, but I don't know. I think he just went the wrong way about it. He kind of was treating it as maybe a sparring session early on, and I just looking through my timeline because I sat and watched it live. Like a lot of people were turned off by him, and it just doesn't make sense putting that type of performance in.
Yep.
But first, I'm just watching it now. Firstly, this Craig Baker I'm surprised he's black because that's the whitest name on the planet, Craig Baker. And he's about 105. Who is this guy? He looks like he's in his 70s.
Yeah, well, that's
not very good so far in this second round. Yeah.
I don't get that matchmaking. Gvozdyk has all this momentum, and why would you put him in there with Craig Baker? Is he some kind of mandatory? Was it like a title eliminatory fight that was mandated by his weight division?
No, it's for some funny little belt came up on ESPN on ESPN then, like
Yeah,
some
I don't-
NBO and something belt.
No, I think that's one that Vosdick already had to begin with. I think he won that against like 2 fights ago.
Yeah, but the thing with Gavaznich, what makes him a problem is kind of similar to a lesser kind of degree with Indongo is the fact that he's so big and tall and rangy at that weight class, and he also does have power. That's just the style that he fights at. Like, you'll never see Gavaznich, I think, become an aggressor and lose his technical abilities. Like, he kind of fights like an amateur who has a lot of power. So he's not really one to step on the gas pedal just to please viewers, I don't think.
He looks at it like a sport, not like combat.
How many fights has he had, Cam?
Gvozdyk.
Yeah.
Like 12 or 13, right?
Yeah, that was his 13th. Yeah.
Yeah, that's all right then. So I'll give him another 4 or 5 until he has to really.
Yeah, it's just one of those
Fully
things
go
where
for
it's
it.
like, you know, he's already pretty much fought the guys like just below the world level. So what the fuck are you doing fighting this guy, wasting time for?
Budget.
Sorry, it was his 14th, but yeah, it was a waste
Budget,
of time.
I reckon.
Waste of time fight. But
Budget, don't you reckon? Money?
Yeah, no, I'm sure
Couldn't
that's
pay for it,
the reason
yeah.
why. But
Because they had to pay Indongo to go, didn't they?
oh yeah, of course. But I mean, you could always put Vosdick on a different card too. And,
Yeah.
I think they were banking on the fact that Omaha has such a substantial Ukrainian population. You know, they all turned out for the fight.
Shit.
All 4 of them. So
yeah, man. When I go to Nebraska, Lincoln, Nebraska, you know, I always get myself some chicken Kiev, and it's fucking delicious because they know how to make it.
it's crazy
Yeah,
though
but-
when you're talking about money, Leon, because I was reading that, you know, because 4 belts were on the line, both Crawford and Indongo had to pay over $100,000 for the sanctioning fees.
right.
So they were saying that maybe they were on 7 figures for their purses, which for Indongo, man, he's like laughing all the way to the bank.
Yeah, big time.
Yeah, earn with Hearn, baby.
Exactly, paying the mortgage off.
Exactly.
Yeah,
That's
Paying the mortgage off, he's doing more than that, man.
No expert on the finances of Namibia, but I imagine that probably goes a pretty nice way.
Yeah, I'd say small village.
Leon,
Small.
Leon paying the mortgage off should have been in the bingo. For people that
Oh,
don't
should
know,
have been in the bingo.
check the coalition Twitter
Doesn't-
because
I mean,
Kimo
we-
made some good coalition bingos, that phrases we say a lot. So, what we can say, Leon?
Yeah, there's been a few complaints.
Yeah,
Missing phrases.
yeah. Like ours could go a lot more. We could have a lot more squares. But Lim,
Yeah,
did
yeah.
you catch anything else on this card?
Me.
Lim,
You broke up then.
What else was on the card?
Dillian White's American debut again in front of 5 people.
Against
What
a man
the-
who hasn't fought in 6 years.
What the fuck is Dillian White doing fighting in Lincoln, Nebraska?
It's crazy, man. Like, this is opponent, Lim. He had a 9-year hiatus. He's coming off
9
a loss.
years was it? Shit.
Yeah, he's coming.
That's the comeback, baby.
He's coming off 2 losses, and then before that he fought and won in 2016, and before that, the last time he fought was in 2007. And he did look like Nestor Gibbs, and I was thinking that maybe it was Border Wars, UK versus US. So, you know, TBV doing this thing out there.
All right.
That's been too active, man. You know,
Let's
sold
move
himself
on.
short.
No, but
Let's move on.
no. I just want to quickly mention something to Leon. Leon, the day after Hearn, I don't know how he had the nerve, but he tweeted out solid win for Dillian White and put a poll up of who does he think he should fight next, so people, you know, could pick their person that he should fight next in the poll. But even putting solid win, man, that's embarrassing. The place was fucking empty. I'm sure he was like the first fight on the bill. Terrible.
Why are you such a hater, man?
No, but even the opponent before this dude, the opponent
How do you
before
know
this
his
dude
opponent
was
wasn't
terrible.
like training like a monk for those 9 years?
Exactly.
man?
You're just
Shaolin
hating
monk.
Eddie Hearn for doing his job.
Dunk these 2 retards, Cam.
Yeah,
Look,
man, that's not acceptable.
Hearn is a fucking snake oil salesman, man. He would lie to he probably does lie to his own kids and shit, you know. You can't trust that man.
But, all right, let's move on. What else was on there? Brian Jennings had a tune-up. I didn't see it. Mike Alvarado got a good knockout. That was all over Twitter. But
Fucking
against
destroyed that guy.
yeah,
Who's he knocking out? How bad was this guy?
Some journeyman, but he almost killed his ass.
He previously fought Crawford as well. This dude, Sequeira. I don't know how to pronounce the name. Sydney
What, for
Sequeira.
like his second fight?
No, I think it was a bit more down the line, but
Yeah, it was years ago though.
Mixed reaction about Shakur Stevenson's like first 3 fights. I know I don't know what Lim thinks. He probably didn't watch the fight, but Chemo has given me negative opinions. Leon, you kind of agree with Chemo that you're not too high on Stevenson so far.
Yeah, but
I just
Chemo hates
think
people, so
he's
put his opinion to fight.
What was that?
He's a white nationalist. Chemo is, so I can't trust his opinion.
Yeah, but he's burning. He's marching, trying to get that Robert E. Lee statue up. Yeah.
Exactly.
Right. Okay. So yeah, I agree with Chemo. He's got that amateur vibe, you know. I just think the problem is he looks like he's about 12, doesn't he? It just looks like he's just. I don't know. There's something weird about him, Cam.
Well, I remember when he was fighting in the Olympics. You're like, is this kid like special? And you meant that like as in like special needs and shit. I just couldn't help but laugh.
You can't. That's. No, that's for the private. That's private stuff.
I think anytime when the main thing that I know a fighter from is having Twitter beefs with Floyd's 14-year-old daughter, I think that's problematic in terms of how I view you as a fighter. So, yeah.
Don't worry, we'll come to Floyd's children later.
I'm not particularly impressed with Stevenson either. I mean, I think he's a pretty good fighter. He has some raw talent there and everything, but and the thing is, we're really not going to know because the way that Top Rank matches people up, they tend to go easy when they need to go easy, and I think with Stevenson they kind of do. And the guy he was fighting in there looked like a guy that should be fighting at flyweight or superfly or some shit. You know what I mean? Like, he looked just like a flabby guy at super bantam for what it's worth. So. It's pretty easy work. Stevenson could be fighting at, it's like, it was what, like 123 or something, right, Cam?
Yeah, just under feather.
Yeah. So
I don't know. He just looks soft in there. You know what I mean? It just all looks kind of quite languid and kind of octopusy. It just doesn't feel solid. Yeah, that was the weight that he fought at in, the amateurs and everything. And the thing is, he only had 2 or 3 dozen amateur fights, as far as I understand it. So, I mean, he doesn't exactly have this long backing, this long history behind him. So, in a way, there's definitely some kinks to work out of there, both in terms of skill and also, in terms of probably even making weight and everything, or at the very least. It's most likely that we're not going to see him just jumping up weight classes as he gets older. Even as he grows into his man body, so to speak, he'll probably stay at that same weight, but just be a little bit bulkier, as time goes on. But I mean, as of right now, we're probably not going to figure out exactly how good the kid is until a couple of years from now, when he even starts fighting guys that are like fringe contenders.
Yeah, I'm the opposite, and no, it's not because he's Southpaw brethren, but. For his first 3 professional fights, I've been impressed, man. Yeah, there are things he can work on. The chin is a bit in the air. When he throws the left-hand right hook, the right hook is pretty wide. He can shorten it up a bit, but
hands are down, Cam, as well.
They're minor niggles, I think, man. Just a bit more experience. I think they can iron them out. Like, I don't know. I don't really see what you guys are so negative about.
Do you know my problem is? He looks like a guy who my hardest mate would just knock out with one punch. That's the honest thing. He just doesn't look like a fighter. He just looks like a guy who could get iced in a bar.
It doesn't help that the last time he had a really tough fight against Robeisy Ramirez in the Olympic finals, which he actually got a bye for. So he only fought 3 times, whereas everybody else had to fight 5 to get to a gold or silver medal. He basically melted down. Ramirez pretty much schooled him and destroyed, broke him mentally. So, I think that still kind of rings in the back of a lot of people's heads. I saw that.
But Cam, this is the problem. We've had this with Eddie Hearn. We just I'd rather he went away for 6 fights than they were off TV. We don't need to know or see it for a while. We just put these people under so much pressure by shoving them in so well.
No, that is the issue as well, because they're under the light so soon, and it has become a bit of a situation where everyone's doing it now. Anyone that's half decent amateur suddenly gets thrown into the deep end. The first fights, the second fights, everything's on TV, and I agree. I'd prefer this to happen, off TV, and maybe see him when he's 10 fights in, 12 fights in, especially with Shakur Stevenson, because he is only 22. With Conlon, they can maybe take him a bit faster because he's 25, but I think they'll take, especially with Bob, like, he's not really got a deep stable, so he'll take time with Stevenson.
But like, it's, those Mexican, like Canelo turned pro at 15, right? I mean, I don't know. I don't know Mexican TV, but you imagine he probably did those first 15 fights no one gave a shit about. That's the way they do it, isn't it?
Yeah.
So I mean, I just feel like he's under pressure, straight away, and that goes for Conlon as well. When the Irish guy that they've signed, it's just going to be. He's got a bit deeper experience, but you're just under pressure, aren't you? If you're headlining or your second fight, you're on big cards. It's just a lot of pressure.
Yeah. No, but with Stevenson, yeah, I like his jab to the head, the right hand, the left hand to the body, just a little half steps back. The counter left hand is nice as well, man. He'll just get out of range and he'll just pop it. But I'm impressed. But
was he leaving his the jab out there again? Stiff arming. He was doing that last fight, wasn't he?
Yeah, he wasn't really doing it in this one. He was a bit.
That's good. Well, then that's good. That's good. That's gone.
Yeah. Just quickly, Leon, how much of the card have you seen? Did you watch the fights that had Sky? Because I got a bit of rant about Sky.
No, I'm just watching. I just saw the main event on Sky, and I'm
right.
watching stuff now on Davey Boy.
That's fine. Just quickly, this broom cupboard that they have for these overseas fights. So you have like Clark, Macklin, and what's his name?
It's not Barker again. It's not Macklin Barker.
Darren Barker's terrible. Macklin's decent, but Darren Barker is terrible, and it's a minor situation for me, but. It sounds, when the sound's coming across on the TV, it sounds like your ears are blocked, man. Like, they have too much of their microphone volume, and the sound from the crowd, the sound from the ring, the ambience of the arena is very low. And it
feels like that cuts in over the top of it.
Yeah, it sounds like you're watching someone doing commentary on a YouTube video over, like, they turn the volume down, and it just seems very cheap, and you don't really expect that from Sky. Their production value is normally really good, but you can just picture them all trapped together in the broom closet, just like huddled together with microphones, doing commentary, watching the screen.
And they're going to have some runner doing the sound. None of their high-end sound guys are going to be there at 4 or 5 in the morning doing that shit, are they?
Yeah, so that's just a little niggle for me, but yeah.
I did see. I heard Teddy Atlas iced Ward, and Ward had a face like a slapped ass. I wish I missed that though.
I didn't.
And when he said Lomachenko's
pound
for pound #1, and little Ward's face folded.
I'm not sure. I didn't catch that. I just watched the Sky stream.
I just saw a little, like a screen grab of it. Yeah, because I turned as soon as I heard it, it was that cunt talking. I just fucking
that was
muted
hilarious,
it.
man.
He's a fucking spastic.
But I'm done with this card. I know narratives unlimited time. You guys got anything else about the card in Nebraska?
No.
All right. Quickly back to last Tuesday.
Now we're talking.
Lewis Neary versus Shinsuke Yamanaka. Bit of an upset, but
Shinsuke.
I know you kind of predicted ahead of time because I saw a conversation between you and Justin. He was kind of asking you, Naoto, what you thought of how the fight was going to play out, and you said like Neary's a young, hungry lion, and it played out that way.
Yeah, he forced Yamanaka into his fight and just savagely destroyed him. That's about as far as you could take it with regard to that. And I mean, kind of funny enough is he's the lineal champion now. He's the lineal bantamweight champion as well as the WBC in the ring. Ring and lineal basically the same for the most part usually. But Yamanaka was the clear man of the division, and Nery went in there, and it was a coming of age fight for him because at first I wasn't even necessarily sure if Nery was ready. I was thinking he gets a little wild in there at times. He's a young guy. He's 22. He's inexperienced. He's the only guys that he's really beat that are even like reasonably good are guys that the likes of Estrada and Quadras had even knocked out. and those guys at lighter weights. So I mean, is his power even necessarily like all that it's cracked up to be? And it absolutely showed that it was. I felt like it might have been, but he actually even did it a lot quicker than I thought it was going to be. I thought it was going to be a reasonably evenly matched fight up until he probably took Yamanaka out in the 7th or the 8th, and he just, as soon as he let his hands go, Yamanaka couldn't deal with what Neri had. Yamanaka would sometimes land an occasional left cross over the top, but Neri, he was using kind of a shoulder roll in the southpaw stance, was able to oftentimes either have him miss, like fall short about an inch or a half an inch, or otherwise be able to roll back with it and take pretty much all the power off of it and be able to even counter in the midst of that, countering with shots up the middle, around the guard, to the body, etc. And he basically just broke him down, beat him up, and just snatched those belts. And not only is he the man at the bantamweight division, I think if at the moment anyway, pending some upcoming fights and how certain guys look, I think Neri could theoretically beat anybody from 115 to 122. If any of the guys at 115 go up and meet him, I'd probably favor Neri to beat all of them. And Neri, if he was to go up to 122, I'd probably favor him over everybody there too. He's a very good boxer. He reminds me of like Edwin Valero in a way, where he's got a lot of skills, but he also has a lot of that raw talent, and a lot of that kind of bad attitude about him that he really wants to hurt you. Like he goes in there looking to do damage. He has that Jorge Lara, that James Kirkland, that Alfredo Angulo, that Mike Tyson shit, where it's like he's coming at you looking for blood. He's coming at you looking to do permanent bone-breaking damage to you. And that got the job done. So I anxiously await to see what's in store for him, because he basically launched himself pretty much on the fringes of being a pound-for-pound fighter himself, just off of one performance, which was a very amazing thing. And it kind of reminds me a little bit of even David Benavidez against Porky Medina, but even more so because Yamanaka was absolutely proven to be the best fighter at that weight. So I mean, very impressive stuff.
You got anything to add, Leon? I thought
Yes,
Yamanaka's
got a lot to add.
Defense was pretty poor in that 4th round. He was just trying to evade by using head movement. His hands were so low, and he was getting clipped with everything.
I'll say Yamanaka swallowed it, I think. I think he shit the bed. I don't think he looked that fucking hurt to me. Honestly, I think he shit it in the corner, shat it. I don't know. I thought that guy was wild, man, and he looked like a beast, yeah, but he doesn't know how to throw a straight punch. And, I think Yamanaka fucked it. I was very disappointed. First time I watched it, I thought it was really, really impressive. And I looked back on it, and I just thought he fucked it.
Yeah.
He just didn't look like he wanted to be there. And you've got to give some credit to that guy for doing that, but I just think there was something looked off.
I know what it was.
Very off.
I know what it was, Leon.
What was it?
He was advertising shampoo in between rounds, so maybe that shampoo
that'll do it.
It got into his eyes and fucked him up.
That'll do it. But you know what I mean? Did you not get that vibe? Like there was something up there?
Yeah, like he had a decent start. Like Yamanaka landed a few decent shots in the first 2. But Neri started working the jab a bit. But I see what you mean. When Neri thought he was hurt, he was kind of jumping on him a bit wild. Like the hooks were wild when he wasn't really placing his punches. But
I don't. He didn't look like he was out on his feet, like seriously beat up. But that Neri guy, he's good. And, like he's going to give some people some good fights. But I was just I felt bad for Yamanaka. I just feel like something was off. But Father Time's a fucker, isn't it? So maybe that's just what happened.
And the thing is, I don't think he's ever had to like face somebody that punches that hard either. Like he's never been hit that hard. And sometimes, when you're not ready for that level of power and it hits you, all of a sudden it's the game has changed. To I guess recall Tyson again. Look at Larry Holmes. I mean, Larry Holmes is this person that was worshipped before and since is like this god of boxing. As soon as Tyson touched his ass, he didn't want any fucking part of it.
Yeah. All right, let's move on. Nikki, just freestyle it. Go through any fights you want to give predictions for, so you can get off, and then me and Liam will just get back to it.
Oh yeah, for sure. Mayweather does whatever the fuck he wants to McGregor. It's going to be a circus show. And he might knock him out on accident in like the 7th or 8th round when McGregor is completely fucking gassed. But Badu Jack, I think, can beat cleverly. I think he will beat clever. I think he probably, at least he'll probably win a wide decision, if not maybe stop him late. Cleverly is not exactly the most defensively sound guy, but at the same time, Jack isn't necessarily a finisher either. Yeah, exactly. Jack's not really a finisher either. So I mean, I kind of go back and forth between it, but I imagine Jack will probably get a clear decision, and there's going to be some good rounds in there. I think Cleverly will give him a bit of a scrap. Gervonta Davis, I guess they replaced his opponent, huh?
Yeah, no longer he's fighting Rocky Martinez. Now he's fighting a guy who I was doing a bit of research on earlier on today, and Francisco Fonseca, undefeated, 19 wins, 13 by KO, but
fought nowhere.
Well, he's been active. He's fought once this year, 5 times last year, and 8 times the year before. But when you look at the highlights on YouTube, they're all like gym fights and just weird outdoor venues that looks like it's in someone's back garden. So, and the level of position was pretty shitty. But he's not bad fundamentally. He's got a really good right hand and then a left uppercut to the head or to the body. So, but I'm high on Davis, even though Davis can't really string a sentence together. It doesn't matter, man. He's good at boxing, and I enjoy watching him fight. So Davis should kind of beat him easy, I think.
Yeah, I mean, well, let's see. Who knows? You never know. This guy might be like another, Diego Chavez or some shit. Actually turn out to be pretty good, and maybe answer some questions about Davis. But yeah, Davis should probably win. Delorme, I think, beats Ugas. I don't think Ugas is that good. It's kind of a shame that we didn't get the Porter fight. I thought that would have been, at the very least, kind of fun to watch Porter, just kind of savagely beat up a guy and then watch a bunch of people cry all day about like how he's dirty. Yeah. Fuck out of here. Anyway, Cotto versus Kamagai. You know what? I'm just going to go on the line. Cotto's a pussy, and Kamagai's going to stop his ass. Fuck Cotto, and I hope he retires for good. And then Ray Vargas versus Ronnie Rios. I think Vargas beats Rios. I think Golden Boy's throwing Rios in way too deep, and Vargas will outbox him.
Yeah, you don't actually you don't actually think Kamagai's going to beat Cotto. That's just Cotto hate, is it not?
Maybe a little bit of both. I actually do.
I'm picking Kamagai.
Seriously,
legitimate chance.
You guys are crazy, man.
He beat the dog shit out of Soto Carras, and nobody else had really done.
No one cares. That's the problem. Soto was shot, so who cares?
Soto just had a good fight with Herrera, man. So he wasn't entirely shot.
Oh, come on, bro.
And then last fight, Tatsuya Fukuhara defending the WBO minimum weight title against Ryuya Yamanaka. Fukuhara, I think, beats Yamanaka. Yamanaka isn't. He isn't a high-level guy, and even Fukuhara isn't necessarily like one of the best of the fighters from Japan, of the champs and all that stuff. But he's definitely good enough to beat Yamanaka. And he's at the very least like kind of a top 6 or 7 guy in the division, whereas Yamanaka isn't. So
what about McWilliams versus Tyson?
Oh yeah. I forgot about that one. Wait a minute, isn't that in 2 weeks?
No, that's on the same night as Cotto on Saturday.
Really?
On the Cotto card, is it?
No, it's in Puerto Rico.
In Puerto Rico, isn't it?
Yeah. Oh no, sorry, that's on the Sunday. That's on Sunday. That's is it? No. Wait, let me check. No, my bad.
I thought it was the same night as Superfly.
That's September 9th. Yo, I'm getting mixed up. Sorry, my bad.
Yeah, I thought it was as well. Yeah.
Say. But I mean, my prediction's not going to change. McWilliams knocks Tyson Marquez out. Marquez isn't the same as he used to be, and Arroyo can still punch.
Quickly, before you go, Rigo versus Loma. Do you have any issue with this fight? Even if it's at 130?
It's a stupid fight for stupid people, and if you like this fight, kill yourself. Because fuck Lomachenko for not fighting the best guys in his division, and fuck Rigondeaux for not fighting the best guys in his division. These guys are the fucking flip sides of the same coin. It's an easy fight to predict. Lomachenko is gonna fucking stop Rigondeaux, and it's not even gonna be close. It's not gonna be competitive. It'll turn out that fucking Gary Russell.
You can't complain though. You can't complain because Rigo wanted this. Rigo's asked for this. Over again.
I'm not complaining in terms of cop and please for him. I'm complaining about the fact that people are so easily fucking led astray, run amok, and bamboozled. Because this is a stupid fight.
But what if it was down at 126?
Well, I mean, Lomachenko can't. I don't think makes that weight anymore. So like you'd have a drained Lomachenko against the chunky Rigondeaux, I guess. Lomachenko would probably still win it, honestly. But Rigondeaux's too small for him. I mean, it's not even necessarily saying that Lomachenko's a better fighter than him. I think technically speaking, they're about even, really. Albeit in different fashions. Lomachenko tends to be higher volume and things of that nature. But if anything, I think Vaso probably has maybe a little bit more dimension to him than Rigo does, possibly. But I mean, at the same time, like even if he savagely destroys Rigondeaux, he should absolutely beat him. He's a fucking smaller guy, and he should go in there and just do whatever the fuck he wants to him. So I mean, so I'm not gonna give him credit for doing what he fucking should do. You know what I mean? Just like Alvarez deserves non-credit for not fucking going at Floyd Mayweather with everything that he had. I don't give a flying fuck about any kind of pound-for-pound bullshit status. The motherfucker's smarter than you. Go in there and fucking prove it. Maidana did. That's it.
Oh, shit. Nice one, Naota. Thank you for that.
Yes, indeed.
We'll let you go because I know you got to get out of here. So, cheers, bro. Hamada jumped on the line. What's happening, Hamada?
Yeah, why you letting Nelson go, man? That guy be ducking me, man.
You better not duck his son.
He's working.
Yeah, what's happening, boys?
We're good. How are you?
We're going to talk about Rigo getting fucking iced. It's going to be fucking glorious, man.
Rigo can beat Lomachenko.
Cubans. They've got the quit in them. They are all about the Q.
Nah, man.
I've been to Cuba. I've been to Cuba, and I tell you, I know two things about Cuban men when I went to Cuba. They like crack cocaine, and they like German tourists, German sex tourists. So that's what you're dealing with. They're a fucked up nation, man.
Cuba should be spelt with Q.
Exactly.
Amado, what do you want to talk about? You seen any fights over the weekend?
Yeah, seen the new undisputed champion.
What do you think?
Yeah, man. It was a decent fight.
It was easy work, bro.
It was easy work, man. Crawford just smashed him up, man, to the body.
Hey, Hamada, don't you fight at 142, or you can make that weight?
Nah, why?
I think you versus Indongo would be one hell of a matchup.
And Indongo have to meet me at 151.
Just tell Eddie to put a poll on his Twitter feed to see if you versus Indongo would be a good matchup, because I know you're smashing fools in the gym. I think that'd be a pretty good fight.
See, Eddie, he's a fucking cunt, mate. I'll tell you why. Before the fight, he was all giving it the big and saying, I can see Indongo winning, upset on the card, he's underdog before, etc. And then once he gets fucking iced, Eddie Hearn doesn't even mention a word about Indongo. It's got nothing to do with me. Fucking cunt. The bastard, that guy.
Oh yeah, I completely forgot. He had options on Indongo for this fight, right?
Yeah, promotional options after the Burns fight.
Ooh. Dude, that's what you call winning. Eddie Hearn is winning at life, man. Kudos to you, bro.
What else, Amada? Did you see your London boy, Dylan White?
No. A fucking terrible mismatch. I mean, fucking hell, mate. I mean, US, this is meant to be billed as Dylan White getting some US exposure.
American debut.
But there's no exposure, mate. You're fighting at 5 o'clock, mate, in front of no fucking count. It's not much exposure there.
Nope. And the opponent was terrible, so.
Who is this guy? I haven't even heard of him. Tan. Fucking hell. Eddie Hearn tried to pull Michael Grant out of the fucking closet, out of the fucking graveyard, man. What the fuck is he playing at?
And that would have happened as well if it wasn't for all the negative feedback they received after that.
Yeah.
Tentatively got announced.
Actually admitted that the abuse he was getting had to pull it. I mean, fucking hell, man. I mean, they have no shame right now. Matchroom Boxing, Eddie Hearn, they have no shame. They was actually trying to make Michael Grant Like, I don't know, man. Dillian White's shit anyways, man. I mean, we'll see what happens with him, but I like Crawford, man. Crawford was digging into that body, man. That body shot that finished him was sickening body shot, man. I mean, he was just sweet, right on the button. It happened so fast as well. It's like, when I was watching it, I knew, like, wow, something hard really hit Indongo, but I didn't know if it was to the head or to the body. And then as I saw the replay, I was like, shit, damn. That was sickening, man.
I'm the same. I thought it was actually the right hand that did the damage initially, because I didn't really see the left hand move so quick. But yeah, man, it was devastating.
Hey, Hamada, let me ask you a question. Would you want to see Crawford versus Owara?
Owara at 140.
Yeah.
Owara is the best at 140.
Bro, who are you talking about?
Davis.
Oh, fucking hell.
Let's get back to Rigo Lomachenko. I want to really. How does Rigo win this fight?
One second, Leon. Did you watch?
Sorry.
Did you watch the Gvozdyk fight, Hamada?
No, I didn't see the Gvozdyk fight, but I saw.
He's not gonna fucking watch that, is he?
You never know.
Nah, but listen, man. Why you underestimating me, Leon? I saw Neri versus Yamanaka, man.
Woo.
Afterwards, after you heard it was what happened. No, I'm joking.
Yeah, obviously it was on on like pretty early. Like I saw people posting about it like around 10 in the morning. I mean,
yeah,
it's about 11. Yeah.
It's
good.
So I watched it later that evening, and Neri done a number on him, man. Caught him with some big shots. I didn't even know that Neri dude was a southpaw. He's catching him with some big shots, left hand, right hooks. And then it was like a mercy stoppage, man, where his coach just jumped into the ring and just
I think the ref didn't see the towel, so he had to jump in and like stop the fight himself.
It was like his coach saved him from getting iced. But yeah, that Neri guy's fucking got dog in him, man. He's a proper guy, man, proper warrior, man. I mean, fighting on the road. Where's he from? I know Nelson's been talking about him for not years, but he's been talking about him and stuff. But it's a good win, man, on the road against Yamanaka, long-time champion who's probably coming to the end. But still, man, it was good. It was good stuff from him.
No worries. Then let's get back to what Leon was asking you about Rigo versus Loma.
If it happens, I still doubt it happens, you know.
I don't know. If it happens, it'll be great, but it's an uphill task for Rigondeaux, man. I mean, giving up that weight. I mean, Rigondeaux's a guy that we've always said, like, can make bantamweight. Do you know what I mean? Like, he's always been, especially when he's fighting these super bantams, he's always been the smaller guy in the ring. And then to move up 10 pounds, was it 10 pound, 8 pound? Was it from 122? Yeah, 8 pound to 130.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, moving up all that weight, and then Lomachenko. I mean, he's not only fighting a bigger man, he's fighting a guy who's just as good as him technically and athletically. So it's really, really hard task. Like, if Rigondeaux somehow manages to beat Lomachenko, like Rigondeaux is. That will make Rigondeaux top 20 all-time boxers, in my opinion, if he beats Lomachenko. Like, that's how much of a uphill task he's got. Like, that win will catapult him to, like, all-time great status. Do you know what I mean?
Okay, all right, this is where I'm sick of this shit, right? Not because of you, Hamada, but from everyone else, right? These cunts have been going on for ages. Rigo beats Lomachenko. They get close to making the fight. They all start fucking crying and whinging about the weight. This cunt asked for the fight. He's wanted this fight for ages. The little privileged cunt has just been sitting around whining, making fucking memes. Now he gets his fight and all his fanboys start crying, oh, it's not fair. Fuck him. I hope fucking Lomachenko fucking sends him to retirement, man. He's one of the most privileged, horrendous people. He's done nothing for this sport for fucking years apart from cry and bitch and moan like all those fucking Cubans.
Yeah, man.
Okay. But don't you think
That's how I feel.
a fair concession would be for the two to fight at 126?
It would be, but I don't think Lomachenko is probably the A side, so.
No, he
No.
absolutely is. He absolutely is. But for reasons
But
like you just stated,
he's not
which I
come
agree
down,
with,
is he?
I think the fight should take place at at some kind of catch weight, because obviously Lomachenko is the A side. He has the backing of Bob, and especially with Rigo leaving Bob and being a Rock Nation fighter, Bob is not going to have very good feelings towards him. That's obvious. But I mean, the thing that I don't understand is if you put out something like this and you say, this is a direct quote, that this fight is very close to happening according to Dan Rafael, who is obviously an ESPN employee, then you kind of shot yourself in the foot if you don't make this fight happen moving forward. Because who the fuck is going to want to watch Lomachenko versus Salido if this was the other option available to us?
Yeah, that is true.
So I want to see this fight. I'm a person who always gave Rigo a chance against Lomachenko, and I still do. I mean, Lomachenko, to me, you can say that Lomachenko is a more skilled fighter, but I still don't know that for sure. And I just think Rigo's style matches up perfectly against Lomachenko. Lomachenko doesn't fight as good as he does on the front foot as he does on the back foot. And that's not saying that much because he's fucking amazing at both.
Yeah.
But all I'm saying is that when he does fight moving forward, he does have more openings, obviously, than he does fighting backwards.
Yeah.
And Rigo, to me, is one of the best counter punchers that I've probably ever seen. And I haven't seen, obviously, a lot of older fighters, but I think his ability to catch people with his straights just on his back foot like he did against Donito is just fucking world-level shit. So I think it's a good fight. And we don't know what Lomachenko's chin is like.
Well,
so
from what you just said, I kind of know what you're going to say to my question, but will Loma be doing the Matrix shit, or will it be tentative like the Salido and Gary Russell fights where he's kind of more thoughtful in what he's throwing and what's coming back?
I think he's going to be more thoughtful. I do, just because Rigo to me is a hellacious puncher. So yeah, I'd still favor Lomachenko, but I wouldn't completely write off Regan now because I think Regan is that talented.
Hellacious puncher.
I do, yeah. I think he's a hellacious puncher.
Hellacious puncher, knockout, touch of death.
Yes, I do. Yep.
Absolutely.
I wouldn't go that far. I'd say like he can crack.
He can crack, yeah. Against small,
hellacious puncher. I mean, come on, that's Adonis Stevenson.
Exactly, touch of death, yeah.
All right, then maybe a little bit underneath that, but I still think maybe comparison to Lomachenko, I wouldn't be surprised if he has more power than Lomachenko, because obviously Lomachenko doesn't have much power at all to begin with. So,
all right, let's.
I think they were both at the same weight class.
If he's coming up, it's similar.
I just think it's going to be interesting, like Cam said, because it will be a chess match to begin with, like both of them kind of standing up. One thing that Rigo is like, step back counter punch.
You're cutting out, Hamada.
He's on that 3G, isn't he, probably?
That 2G. But yeah, we can't hear you, Hamada, if you're talking.
Yeah, I'm back. Sorry about that. Like, he's got that step back counter is just quality, man. And it'll be interesting to see what happens to Lomachenko when he does take a few counters. Look, Rigo's making him miss a bit. It'll be interesting. Like,
making him miss. Don't fucking start this fucking bullshit.
I would like to see the
making
fight,
him
man.
miss.
Like,
making him miss. This
skill
cunt's been
level
dropped
fight.
as many times as anyone else.
Sorry?
I'm saying this making him miss bullshit, this defensive wizard bullshit. The cunt's been dropped numerous times.
Yeah, obviously.
Yeah, but
you
can't
make someone miss all the time. But
exactly.
Yeah, but you're fucking... This is this bull... Yeah, whatever. I don't fucking care. I hope you get
No, I'm just
fucking
saying
spasticated.
I'm not...
So,
Leon's got
are you saying that that's not possible?
What?
That he would make Lomachenko miss?
Oh, he might make him miss a few times. But this idea, this flows out of people about Rigo. Oh, we make him miss, like we're talking about some kind of Pernell Wickers style. It's another myth. It's a guy who's been dropped numerous times by fucking bums.
Now,
I wouldn't real. The geezer got beaten nearly 12 zip by Warrington, had him fucking all over the shop. Yeah, he beat him up in the end, but he got dropped. So let's not fucking oversell this shit. The cunt's getting better and better because he's not in the fucking ring fighting anyone.
I think, yeah, him getting drops due to, like, his bad chin rather than his bad defense. Like, his chin is definitely susceptible. Like, when he gets tapped on the whiskers, he does a wobble and he goes down. Like, he's got a shaky chin, but his defense is actually quite good. Like, so not even quite good, it's really good. And every time he does get hit, because his chin's dodgy, it's like, wow, he goes down or he's really hurt. Do you know what I mean? So,
I'm not saying it's shit. I'm not saying his defense is shit, but I'm just saying this story is told and told and told about him. You know, this guy's got better with it. What?
It's overrated, though. It's definitely overrated.
Thank you. Yeah, that's all I'm saying. It
infuriates
me.
Very easy to hit the body,
bullshit.
first of all, like Flores did multiple times in that first round because he won it. And not particularly hard to hit to the chin either. And Lomachenko has way quicker hand speed than Amagasa and is, like all these other guys at Rigondeaux who's been fighting like fucking Jazza Dickens for fuck's sake. And it's stupid. It's dumb.
Nate had to come back to get that off his chest.
Thank you. Now I
hope you don't get fired.
Go on, no, I'll stop ranting now. But it just everyone else have this. I'll stop interrupting people. Sorry.
Lomachenko should fight Salido, and Rigo should fight someone worth a fuck.
So you'd rather see Lomachenko versus Salido than Lomachenko Rigondeaux?
Yeah, because that actually proves something. This proves zero.
Nelson.
This proves that he can beat up somebody smaller. This proves he could beat up somebody smaller than him.
Nelson.
Someone that's highly
skilled. He doesn't have to be as skilled as Rigondeaux. He could just fucking run forward after his ass and fucking attack him.
Nelson, your boy Salido don't want to fight though.
And so supposedly Rigo didn't either.
Nah, but he turned down the fight though.
Yeah, well, for how much though?
I don't know how much. I don't know.
Well, there you go. They could have offered him $10 fucking if he turns the fucking thing down.
$750,000.
Man, that's more than what. That's not even as much as what fucking Lomachenko's making. So
yeah, well, that would end out.
That's the whole point.
He's driving you, huh?
Yeah, well, if you want to fight somebody and you want to avenge a loss that like they don't even necessarily have any mandate to fucking fight you. Sometimes you gotta fucking pay the cost to be the boss. You know, just like Golovkin should have been paying all these other opponents more money as opposed to fucking giving, you know, fucking all these other guys before he fought Daniel Jacobs $200,000 and $300,000.
Oh, so it's fine. Salido ducking, yeah, it's fine, yeah.
No, Salido's not ducking anything.
But then, where's
the offer? Where's the offer for Miguel Burchell?
Oh, so now you wanna go there? But Salido is fine for Salido, but it's not fine for Lomachenko. Oh, okay. I see. I understand.
What's not fine for Lomachenko? I'm saying that Lomachenko, if he wants to avenge the loss, avenge the fucking loss. And, you know, that Salido is a better fight than Rigondeaux is. And so are those other two guys at 130 that are rated above Lomachenko because Corrales and fucking Burchell belong above him because they've beaten better opponents than him and more impressive fucking fashion than him. And that's all there is to it.
So why didn't your boy Salido take the fight? You're not answering the question.
Obviously, he didn't feel that it was worth his while to take that much money when Lomachenko's still getting paid more. You know what I mean?
Man.
I don't know.
Uber's doing good these days, Hamada.
Exactly. Yeah.
And here, put it this way: I'm not defending Salido not fighting against Lomachenko. I think that he should. I absolutely do. But you know, just like it costs money sometimes, just like it'll cost money for Ward to get in the ring with Adonis Stevenson. You know, it's going to cost some money to get Salido back in the ring against Lomachenko because he has that loss over him, and if he wants to avenge it. And the thing is, here's the thing: if Lomachenko was to fight and Burchell or Corrales tomorrow and beat either one of those guys, the Salido fight means a lot less as far as I'm concerned because those guys are clearly above Salido.
Back to Rigo.
Listen, I agree. I want champions to fight other champions, like Crawford fought Indongo. I want that shit to happen. But your boy, you're shitting on the Lomachenko fight in Rigo when your boy Salido.
Let's have fucking Chocolatito fight Milan Melindo. Let's have Adonis Stevenson fight Anthony Joshua. Fucking let's have Gennady Golovkin
No, but it's
fight
not the same. No. This is what I mean. You're doing your bullshit again. Like you're manipulating what this really is. Like,
I'm
this
not.
is not.
I'm
This is
absolutely
not
This is a
Adonis
stupid fight
Stevenson
for stupid
fighting
people
Anthony
for
Joshua.
Bob Arum to get revenge
That
on
is-
Regan now, as though he didn't fucking already do it in the first place by helping to ruin the fucking guy's career.
You know,
Right.
Adonis Stevenson jumping up to fight Anthony Joshua means he's jumping up 75 pounds. Yeah? Rigo is jumping
Okay,
up.
well let's
8
let's
pounds.
okay then let's
Well,
have Adonis fight
stop
fucking
it.
Usyk.
Why are you doing this?
Because I feel like it. That's why.
Can we
You know,
just
it's
reel this in?
childish, man. Come on, man. Be sensible.
Let- So just what I think about Rigo versus Lomachenko, which Naota obviously disagrees with, and he has every single right to disagree with it, but I view it almost like a scenario in which people asked Golovkin to move up to fight Andre Ward, because I view Rigon Dao that highly, and I've always been someone who's comfortable with fighters moving up weight classes who I deem as very special, like 5 pound for pound level talent fighters. I've always been okay with that. That's what people want.
I would have been okay a few years ago, but not now, because Rigo hasn't proven shit in the last ever since fucking Donaire.
He fucking iced your boy, that Flores guy. He iced him and made him fucking dive, man. The fuck?
Yeah, sure he did. Sure he did.
He iced him.
And
Sure he
Ice.
did.
he
Sure
won
he
that
did.
first round.
Yeah, but no, but he's right.
Ducking Ray Vargas and Oscar Escandon along the way. Sure he did.
He also iced Jazza Dickens. Iced
I don't.
Jazza
I didn't
He
rank
ripped
Jazza
his
Dickens, you
jaw
dumb
off.
fuck. I fucking said that Jazza Dickens was a dog shit opponent before, since, and fucking after. So shut the fuck up with that dumb shit. Idiot.
Ice.
Fucking Hamada, fucking kill yourself, bitch ass nigga.
He's raging.
Look, let's be honest, right? Rigo's resume is bullshit.
But who has like an incredible resume nowadays, man?
Even like,
but people
look,
use that argument all the time. So I'm
True,
just
but, like, look,
doing what we
we-
do,
No,
man.
I understand that, but like, listen, Rigo hasn't done shit the past 2-3 years. Nobody can ever fucking defend that. And I know this is kind of a stretch for me to bank on that Donaire win, but that Donaire win at the time was one of the most impressive things of that year. That to me, that still holds something of value for me, because Donaire at that time was considered by most to be pound for pound, and people always give me shit
by
for
me.
retroactively shitting on fighters. So in this situation, I'm not retroactively shitting on Donaire.
Oh, that's a good win. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, no, and
Like,
that's
it was
I get where you're coming
It was
from.
incredible, man.
In that case,
That win was incredible. He scored. He pitched a shutout against Donaire, who was considered by some people to be the number 1 or 2 pound for pound fighter at that time, man.
he wasn't considered 1 or 2, but I mean,
Yes,
he was definitely
yes.
he was definitely
Jesus.
higher
Thomas
than
winning
he was
fighter of the
definitely
year,
higher
bro.
than he belonged. The highest that he was like number 3 or 4.
won
He
fighter
wasn't
of
number
the year.
2, 1 or 2.
Yeah, two.
All right.
Well, that's 4.5 years ago. Nearly half a decade ago.
Yeah, there you go. Exactly. Yeah. But when that then got demolished by Victor Chini and fucking well, for the most part, Nicholas Walters and then Jesse
for the
Magdaleno.
most
So
part, except
so
for the
yeah,
part where
he's
I got
done
knocked
something that nobody else has fucking done since.
Right. Okay. All right, Cam. This is pretty much a black hole. I think we all know where everybody stands on this position. So, if you want to move forward, I mean, seriously, we're not obviously going to change each other's mind. We all have different opinions. So it isn't going to change. So.
See ya.
No, I agree.
Yeah,
No,
okay.
but the thing we talk about resume though, like you brought up Rigo's just quickly before we change topic, but Leon,
That was glorious.
you brought up Rigo's, but we were talking about Crawford before, Leon, and
I
I
know.
don't
I know
think
it's
Crawford's
hard,
got the greatest resume so far.
That's what I've said. Like, that's why the pound for pound, the whole
Oh
argument.
no,
right
yeah,
now-
but whoa. There's a big difference between what Crawford's done and what Rigo's done.
Okay, I agree. The comprehensiveness of Crawford's resume shits on Rigondao's resume.
Consistently fighting guys.
Is there one opponent that Crawford looked as impressive or as means as much as the one against Donaire?
No,
Look,
Donaire's win.
no.
Yeah.
Rigo's win over Donaire is much better than anything that Crawford's done.
Much better than anything Crawford's done.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, but all right. So you have that as a positive. I have the fact that I can't name another cunt that Rigo's beat as a massive negative. You know, like the consistency of Terence Crawford's work. People shit on these names, but they're consistently beating guys that have been doing stuff in the sport. Really, Rigo. Maybe it's not Rigo's fault. His career is a fucking train wreck.
No, I agree with that. Overall consistency, Crawford's got it, But for best win, I'd have to give it to Rigo.
And the thing is, like, Leon, like, obviously I know where you stand in this, but do you think Rigo has done anything in the past 3.5 years or 4.5, whatever it was, since I don't need to win, to think of him as less of a fighter from your vantage point?
Yes, because he's been out of a ring for longer. He's fought no one. So how can he have got better?
I'm not saying whether he got better, but
I think he would have had to have got worse, I would imagine. He's been dropped numerous times since then. I mean, I just don't think we can. I think that Rigo feels so long ago that I don't even know if that guy still exists.
It's a different Rigo.
Like, I like that. Rigo's good, you know. Rigo's really good, but I just think there's some amount of horseshit being talked in and around about him and his career, man. That's all.
To be honest, I don't even know what we're arguing about, because I think if we ask 100 boxing fans right now whether you want to see Lomachenko versus Rigo, 99 of them will say yes, and the one person who doesn't want to see it will probably be Nauta responding to those polls. You know, like, honestly, like, of course.
Yeah, but I'm ready for people to shit on Lomachenko when he beats him. People will shit on him.
That's complete bullshit. For people to do that, they're fucking retards. But let me ask you a question, though. Would you rather see Lomachenko versus Regan now, or Lomachenko versus, let's say, Corrales, another titleist at that weight class?
Personally,
yes,
I wanted to see him fight Rigo.
Okay,
but that's a personal reason. I have no problem with this fight. I have no problem with this fight because I want to be there when this shit derails. Because you know what? I'm not one of these. You know where you get these people. I've heard these people go, I like both guys. Oh, I like both guys. I like both guys. I don't care. Whoever loses, it's going to be fucking epic. Whatever happens, the fallout of this is going to be amazing. Because there'll be Rigo fans crying. But if Rigo beats Lomo, can you imagine the meltdown? So, and as I said before, Cam, I'm all about L's. So, yeah, I can't wait for the fight.
All right, let's hope it does happen in December.
But it doesn't. After all that, it doesn't happen.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, man.
Our run, and it doesn't happen. But let's move on. Talk about Frampton, Leon, because a couple of weeks ago there were rumours of a split with Cyclone. I was thinking, nah, man, they're tight. They seem like a family. He'll continue with them, but it seems more like you were right, Leon.
I was right, but only a bit right. I was trolling a bit, but I was definitely hearing people talk about it. There was definitely something that was up in and around that fight, and looks like Wee Car might be whoring himself off the Matchroom.
I hope,
but let's see. I hope not. But
is Heyman possible?
Could you imagine?
I think it's going to be Heyman.
I think it'll be Heyman ITV kind of thing.
Yeah, it'd be Heyman like on DeBella cards, or maybe on a Ringstar Richard Schaefer card. I think because Schaefer's got
Selby, right? Or Heyman does?
Well, Heyman has Selby, but Schaefer also, you got a deal with David Hay. They've called it Ringstar Haymaker, and they're going to be doing stuff over here in the UK. So I would put my money on him working with Schaefer.
I think this is Heyman coming into UK boxing. I think he's going to go through the ITV thing. I think it'll be part of the Eubank thing. I think Eubank will end up with Heyman. All of that stuff will happen. It'll be Poxon or Haymaker.
Right, because Eubank is already kind of like in like by second degree working with Schaefer, right? Because he's in that tournament.
Yep.
That's Schaefer.
Yeah, and he's always with Floyd.
Yep.
So I think that's what's happening.
That's a really good point. Yeah, that'd probably be good for the UK market. No, having like another competitor like Heyman in the mix.
Have no problem. Yeah.
Cool. Great. Is he separated from Shane as well?
That's one thing. Has he? Because I was going to ask that, Leon.
I can't imagine how he couldn't. He's just about to bankrupt his dad.
Nah, that is true, but you don't know what their individual relationships are, they might be really tight, so and say, look, it's a business thing, you're still my trainer, so I don't know. I've not read anything. I've not read anything. But Hamada, you got any thoughts about this split?
About Wee Car?
Wee Car, yeah.
Are you glad?
Are you glad?
Yeah. I found out about it a bit later than everyone else, but I just think Carl Frampton's had enough of it being the Barry McGuigan show, man. I think he's tired of Barry's bullshit.
I've read at different places that the money's not been right. Like Cyclone have been taking bigger chunks of money. I don't know if it's true or not, but
it's basically feeding the whole family. I mean, fucking Shane's his trainer, Barry's his manager, the other two guys are his promoters.
Blaine.
He's basically feeding the whole fucking McGuigan family.
Yeah, that is true. Paying them all.
So he's thinking I gotta feed my family first, man. The fuck?
Yeah.
Can you imagine? I mean, he's paying Shane as his trainer, he's paying Barry as his fucking manager, and he's paying the other two
as a promoter.
As promoters. I mean, how much are they taking out of his fucking money?
I'd say they're taking at least 40%.
And then on top of that, he's got Heyman as his advisor, who he's probably paying as well.
Yeah, but I see your point, but he's gonna do that anyway. Whoever he's with, if he signs with someone else, they're gonna still be taking their checks.
Right. That's a good logical assessment by you, Cam. I'm very proud of you.
Thank you.
It's true.
Yeah, but he's in a position to negotiate his deal now. He was locked into something that he came up as a child. He can, it's like he knows his worth now.
That is true.
That's what I say. But
look, think, how much of a wind-up would it be if Frampton signed with Hearn? I mean, fucking hell. Some people
how could he, man?
Nah, man. I've seen stranger shit happen, mate.
I just can't see it though. Remember, like when he used to promote Frampton and he used to say, "Yeah, Frampton beats Quigg," and then when Frampton left and he signed Quigg, he's like, "Yeah, Quigg beats Frampton," and it just go full circle if he's fucking signs with Hearn again. It'd be crazy, man.
I can see, like, you guys need to understand, yeah. You see Eddie Hearn, yeah. I say a lot of bad stuff about Eddie Hearn, but one thing Eddie Hearn is really good at is like. He's just the master salesman. If he can sit Frampton down and have a meeting with him, he will tell Frampton everything he wants to hear. He'll say all that stuff about Quigg is because I'm Quigg's promoter and you was on the other side. He'll brainwash Frampton into believing the McGuigans are the bad guys and come over here. We're gonna look like that. That's what he is. He's like Eddie Hearn's a fucking master salesman. He sells dreams. That's what he does for a living. He sells fantasies, he sells dreams. And if anyone could pull it off, Hearn could probably get him, man. And that would, honestly, like, Frampton's fans, like, hate Hearn. Like, you see it all over the place.
But the problem with this is he's got no one. Hearn has no one for Carl to fight.
But he does have an amicable relationship with the promoters that do have the other guys, right?
Yeah, but why would you... You might not need to do that to get
easy payday.
He might not need to do that to get the Selby fight. I think the Selby fight will be on ITV. I reckon that's my guess at some point.
Think about it. If Hearn signs Frampton straight away is a pay-per-view fighter. Like, I know it sounds crazy and I hate this bullshit, but you gotta admit, like, Frampton will probably be a pay-per-view fighter.
But
he'll do the quick rematch.
Didn't that pay-per-view kind of flop though? Didn't it flop, that pay-per-view, the first?
Yeah, it did.
So I don't think he's that big of a draw. Not when people are paying money, like on free TV, on ITV. Yeah, he might bring in 2-3 million.
It'll be ITV pay-per-view though.
Yeah, but exactly. If people are dipping into their pocket, I don't really think he brings people in.
Sure. Oh, and are you guys talking about the quick pay-per-view numbers?
Oh, yeah, they weren't great.
Yeah. So that's a good point then, because honestly, realistically speaking, what fight could possibly replicate even that level of excitement in terms of fighters that he could fight at 126 right now?
I don't know. But
not much, really.
So,
but
I mean, if that didn't do good pay-per-view numbers, how the fuck can you expect anything else to do better than that?
I remember though, I remember Eddie Hearn saying back when the split first happened, because he was with Matchroom and everything, like, he said that it was McGuigan. Like, he was like, me and Frampton had a good relationship, but the McGuigans wanted to go a separate route. So I don't really think Frampton and Eddie Hearn are really that mad at each other. It's just everyone else is mad at each other. Do you know what I mean? I don't know, man. I think he might go to Matchroom, man. It might be a crazy move, but I think it will happen. That's my opinion. I don't know anything, but I just have that feeling, man, that he's going to sign with Han.
Leon,
All right.
Wasif in the chat made a great spot on Shane McGuigan's Twitter description. He's removed Frampton from his trainer of fighters, so yeah, maybe they have
Yeah.
parted ways.
But did
Obviously, Shane's not
either
gonna-
did either of them unfollow each other on Twitter? That's what I need to know.
But it might be. It could be. I think it could be Schaefer. You know, I think it could be Schaefer with the Haymaker and the David Hay thing.
Yeah,
The
that makes
McGuigans, obviously, they come as a package. So if he's leaving Barry, then obviously he's leaving Shane. There's no doubt about that. I mean,
Maybe Hay was whispering in his ears when they were training together. At
Exactly.
the
That's what I'm saying.
Yep.
Yeah.
Because that
motherfucker.
Haymaker, that Hay money is Heyman money, isn't it?
Yeah.
Hey man.
And don't be fooled by shit being on Dave. Don't be, man, because that is not a small. They're not small fry company, you know. Like, you might laugh at them, but that's BBC basically. That's basically BBC own that.
Yeah, for people that know
yeah,
Dave.
but it's gonna be hard to take Dave seriously as a as a sports.
Yeah, but I'm
channel.
not talking. Yeah, but it's not about our perception of it. It's a casual perception. It's the marketing perception. It's advertisers. It's being the power to get deals. The power to get deals done. There isn't a bigger company. There is not a bigger TV producing company than BBC Worldwide. So I mean, it's a huge deal because if they're in that door, they're everywhere. That's so people
I just think it
when
would be better
when
BBC actually.
yeah, of course, but you're at the table with. I'm saying Dave signing with Dave is signing with BBC basically. If that does well, they can move him wherever they like. So when Tony Bellew was laughing at that, David Hay for signing a deal with Dave, just proves yet again that Tony Bellew's a fucking idiot.
Fucking knobhead talking about fighting Michael Bisping. I mean,
He's the worst.
Bellew, man. I mean,
Oh,
he's
become the worst.
Yeah, I'm not even.
I don't have to go there yet.
Yeah, fuck it.
Wait until he comes back.
All right, another Liverpool lead I want to talk to you about, Leon.
Yeah.
David Price is going to be coming back. He's not retiring. He's not quitting. New trainer, and he's going to fight again.
Who's his trainer?
I do know. I've actually forgot, so I'm going to quickly Google it. But I just think he should retire, man. It's like, what the fuck?
Yeah. Well, didn't I hear him say everyone thinks I'm shit, so I might as well carry on? That's a terrible reason to carry on getting punched in the face, isn't it?
And then some guys were sucking up to him saying, "No, you're not shit. You've just been unlucky."
Oh yeah, no, wrong place, wrong time. How many wrong places and how many wrong times can there be? Let's be
Everyone you
bad.
lost to is on roads.
Oh yeah, everyone lost his on roids. Whatever. I mean, he's that last win was that was shambolic, wasn't it? Last win. When was the last win? But yeah, that's a mental decision. I really know. Because he seems like a reasonably nice guy, like a decent enough bloke. He just doesn't seem like he seems too soft for boxing, really, doesn't he?
Yeah, boxing scene when they put the article out, they got George Vaughan, Derry Matthews, and Joe McNally will be handling him by now. But I don't know if it's the typo and it's Danny Vaughan, or if it is someone else called George Vaughan. So he's not going to do anything, is he? Like,
nah, he's got nothing to. There's nothing to do for him. I don't know who's he ever going to beat.
No one any half decent.
Exactly.
But,
So yeah,
right,
weird decision.
Let's move on. Preview next week. We kind of got into some of it before when we were talking with Naota. But Lim, I'll start with you about the fight that we don't really want to talk about: McGregor versus Mayweather.
Isn't that crazy that you're uttering those words right now, Cam?
It is indeed.
Did you ever think you would say something like that in your life?
No.
The rat, the weasel. He is the dot of the dot.
I'm not going to break it down from a technical perspective, but it'll be a spectacle, man. I mean, there's really not much else to say. I mean, the thing that I'm disappointed is that the undercard isn't that good. I know Cleverly versus Badu is a pretty good fight, but other than that, there's really nothing on the card that, attracts my attention. So unfortunately for people who actually like boxing, hardcore fans, they don't have much justification to purchase the fight, but it's gonna. I mean, what is there to say, man? It's gonna generate a shitload of money. It'll probably break pay-per-view records, and Floyd just laughing to the bank once again, man. So yeah, that's pretty much it.
Leo?
I hate UFC. I hate McGregor. I hate the word octagon. I hate the word strike. I hate Joe Rogan. I hate Leonard Ellaby. I hate the cunt who runs Showtime. I hate Floyd Mayweather. I hate Floyd Mayweather Senior. I hate Floyd Mayweather's children. I hate people fans of Floyd Mayweather. But if that's what you want to spend your money on, do what you fucking like. I can't give a fuck.
You missed one name.
What?
You hate Paulie.
Oh, I hate Paulie.
Oh, he's the worst.
He's the worst. And that other cunt who was on with Joe Rogan, I don't know why I put myself through that fucking stupidity.
Brendan Chubb?
Oh, Chubb, that's about right. What a penis. He needs to go. Yeah. He's blocked me already. He's blocked me already. I tweeted him he needs to kill himself if he loses.
I think Paulie is
he's picking McGregor, isn't he?
Yeah, by knockout. Paulie is the biggest loser in this entire situation. I mean, what a fucking whore.
He's exposed himself, hasn't he?
I've seen better fucking whores on the streets of Las Vegas at 5 a.m. on a Sunday morning than fucking Paulie Malignaggi. I mean, that guy is a fucking cunt. And I'm so glad that his entire story got exposed. It's just little fucking bitch. What a pussy.
Mayweather's beating the shit out of better whores than him, Let's be honest.
I mean, obviously we don't know anything about the context of their sparring, but for you to get, obviously I can't say he got beat badly by Conor, but for you to even be in that position against him, you're a fucking loser, man. For fuck's sake, against the guy who's never even fought a single round in the boxing ring. You're a fucking joke, man.
And you look at what that Dutch guy did to him. We've seen that spar. We've seen that footage. So for Paulie is the biggest loser in this whole thing, and it's a humongous L. And it's an L he's thoroughly deserved. He's a despicable little man.
Yeah.
Says another little man. But anyway, a despicable individual. I mean, he is. Because we liked him when he stood up against Heyman, when he said what Heyman was, like going against the mafia and all that shit he said. We were like, right, we can all get on board with this. And he fucking sold his soul.
Yeah. And he's still a good commentator. But
whatever.
I think he's a good commentator, but obviously I revile him as a human being. But I think, again, I'm not going to go too much into this topic, but what disappointed me more about this fight is that I just think the stupidity of the American public, especially with everything that's going now in the political climate, everything that's related to sports, is posed in a way that people want to create factions and they want to create sides. And they overblew the racial elements of that Mayweather-McGregor press conference thing, where this fight is drawing more interest, not because of the fight itself, which is obviously not predicated on anything, but more so because of the racial climate. And that's the thing that really bothers the shit out of me, is that I think this fight is going to do more numbers because people latch on to this whole black versus white concept rather than, just what kind of like the sport is. And that's really bothersome. I mean, that's the only thing that people are talking about in sports radio is like, is he a racist? What is he trying to say with this kind of context? And that's kind of like
what beyond the boy, because of the boy thing.
Yeah, exactly. They say
that's
boys.
Still going on.
And like they just keep going off about that, and
but he's taken it out of context. I've said this before. I said it a couple of weeks ago. It's used in a different way over here. That's just all it is. It does not have the connotations it does. It's your boys, and I call you. You know what I'm saying, Cam? It's used differently over here. Yeah. So that is just a muddy. I'm not saying that word does not come with a heavy meaning in America. No one's saying that. It's just, you can't just put two cultures together You know, it's just different ways of doing things. That's all. Look, and the other thing is, aren't the tickets failing? I've read a couple of things that the tickets aren't selling, and they've had to bring the prices down. And that here's another myth that needs to be fucking absolutely decimated. Is this idea that Floyd, he's the master marketeer. No one sells him like that. Are you fucking joking me? It's ridiculous. He's £35 million in debt, and he's marketing as much as he knew he was a cunt, so he's sold that as being a cunt. That's it. This is not a man who is building this huge empire. Yes, he's got a couple of strip clubs. Brilliant. Where demoralised, heartbroken women get pervs over by demoralised, heartbroken men. Well, if that's what your legacy is going to be left behind, great. You are what you are. And we should all realise this. The man's fucking scum. You know, don't get off. This has been a tough couple of weeks to get through, having all this shit on in the background. You know, and I haven't really tried to stay away from it, but it's sickening.
Yeah, you can't.
And a big fuck you to boxing scene, man. Because every article's Floyd did this, McGregor did this. It's fucking annoying.
Oh, it's a freak show.
Yeah, it's not good. Because the thing is, I think no matter what the result is, boxing, you can't look good in this situation after the result. You know, because if Floyd doesn't knock Conor out after 4 or 5 rounds, I mean, there's nothing to be said about that. He should absolutely whitewash this guy. You know, again, to the very fact that we're even like someone breaking this fight down is really perplexing to me. You know, a guy who has never fought in a boxing match in his life. That's insane.
Yo, listen though, is Conor tough? Like, has he got a good chin?
You're trolling. Shut the fuck up. I already know where you're trying to get me riled up.
No, honestly, because like, I have a feeling Floyd will knock him out. I don't know why.
No, I think he's going to stop him, not by like a one-punch knockout or even necessarily hurting him, but I just think
just
facial
smashed
damage.
Up. Yeah.
Exactly. I just think the facial damage Conor's going to sustain will be too much.
It's going to be target practice for Floyd. Like, Floyd's probably one of the most accurate in terms of accuracy and of punches. Probably one of the most accurate punches I've seen, and like, especially with the straight right hand. And Conor's just going to eat right hand after right hand after right hand, and I don't know if he's tough. He might be able to stand up to it, but I just think if he just repeatedly just takes them punches round after round, I don't think he can withstand that, man.
Yeah,
I hope it's a horrible stink fest that goes 12 rounds. I hope it damages boxing. That's what I hope. I want it to all fucking burn after this.
Of course it's going to damage boxing, of course. Like, I know that a lot of shit was given after Maypac, like, when he fought Pacquiao, but like, to me, I don't blame Floyd for that. Like, I blame Pacquiao more, because if he was injured, he shouldn't have gone into the fight injured. But this was 100% Floyd's fault. Floyd knows what he's doing. He's fighting an MMA guy. He knows it's a fucking cash grab after 2 years out. He knows exactly what he's doing. This is literally like, this is unacceptable. Like this shouldn't even be on Floyd's boxing record.
It's not a boxing match.
It's not a boxing.
It's a fight.
This should be like a charity kind of thing or something like this. The Nevada who Floyd has in his pocket shouldn't have sanctioned this fight. Shouldn't have like let this fight happen. Like, they shouldn't have. Like, but because Floyd's got them in his pocket, and Floyd's obviously, you know, it's going to make a lot of money for Vegas. They had to be on board. But it's just like, it's a shit show. It's a freak show. It shouldn't even be happening. I mean, it's a fucking joke. Conor's going to lose. And then afterwards in the post-fight interview, the first thing Conor's going to say is, I'm not a boxer. I've never had a boxing match before. And then he's going to say, Floyd, come fight me in UFC. And Floyd's not going to do it because Floyd's a smart man. He's
You
not
get
an
his face
idiot.
smashed in.
He's not an
Oh my-
idiot. He's not gonna go there and get literally like what Conor would do to Floyd in a fucking octagon is like a million times worse than what Floyd would do to Conor in boxing. Let's just say that. And
Oh yeah, because you're allowed to basically.
Floyd's really.
That's just GBH or MMA. That's my problem with it. It's a horrendous thing. I mean, the idea of
exactly,
fucking elbow
right.
some cunt in the face on the floor and people watch it as a sport. Fuck all of you. Fuck you. Fuck Mystic Men. I listen to that shit. Literally, it's fucking horrible.
You're a
Bro,
masochist.
I'm telling you, it's fucking. And sorry, I gotta quickly run on this here. Like,
Hold on, let me
sorry,
just say one thing
I
before you rant. Leon reminds me of the guy that Alfred alludes to in the second Batman, of the guy who just wants to see the forest burn or just to see things burn.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, go ahead, Hamada.
like in the last, like recently in the last few weeks and stuff, like it's been unbearable. Paulie Malignaggi, I mean, someone, like, this might sound harsh, someone shoot that man in between his eyes. Honestly. He's a fucking mess, mate. He's a fucking shambles.
Yeah.
Conor iced him, beat the shit out of him. Like, we saw the footage, yeah? Alright, cool. It might not be the whole talk, like, but we saw Paulie's face. Paulie's face was bashed up. Paulie was floored. I wouldn't say he was not, like, dropped, but he was floored by an MMA guy. Like, he's doing that to you. Like, you're an embarrassment. When the picture first came out, Paulie came out and said it was a push down from frustration. Paulie was getting frustrated because Paulie was like, McGregor was getting frustrated because I was beating him up. And he pushed me. And then, they showed the video of what really happened. And then Paulie's got his fucking pants in a tangle. And he doesn't know what to say. And he's saying, that's not a knockdown. He didn't really knock me down.
But look, the worst thing about that is the MMA fans. Like, I listened to that Joe Rogan and Schluck, or whatever his name is.
Why do you
saying,
do this to yourself, Leo?
Because I'm a masochist. But look,
Did you listen to the whole thing or just part of it?
I walked 18 kilometers that day, so I listened to the whole thing, and it was fucking painful. But look, they're going on like this is a legit Paulie, you know, like this is a guy. It's like Egginton smashed him to bits, man, and he's a British level guy. It's just the whole thing. Everything, anything that Paulie goes near now, it just touches. It just fucking turns to shit.
Yeah. Just to let you know that Brendan Schaub is considered by even MMA fans to be one of the dumbest human beings that walks on this earth. So just wanted to...
Good. Well, I'm glad to know that because we have them own boxing. I'm not saying that our sport is flawless by any means, but, you know, that's your guy, and I'm glad you keep him.
No, please. I don't want him.
Do you want us to take him?
Yeah, I would. No, definitely not. No, but... Wait, why is there so much background noise? I think that's Mata. Can you mute yourself, my friend? All right. Well, and I think it's fair. Like, look, as much as the stupid shit that I say in terms of how much I like Conor, that doesn't make this binary. That doesn't make this mutually exclusive. I can still shit on this fight, which the more the days go on, the less I'm excited about it. Honestly, I don't think I'm gonna even watch the fight on Saturday. I really don't. I'm probably gonna watch it the day after.
Why would you? Yeah.
I think it's fair for us to talk about the fight. Like, people, I think, in the boxing community think, oh, we can't even give any kind of acknowledgement towards this fight. No, you can, as long as what you say isn't glorifying the fight for something that it's not. And I think as long as we're doing that, which we clearly are, I mean, we can discuss it at length because, let's face it, this is probably one of the biggest events, like, in sports this year. And I hate to say it, but it's true. You know, it's just one of those things that dominates the news coverage here in the States, so...
Yeah, look, and I'm not going to tell anyone not to buy it because you can't tell people what to do with their money. That's their problem. If they want to burn their money like that, do what you like. That's your issue. So, but if you can stream it, stream it. He doesn't let the tax man get his money. Like, it doesn't need your money. And if you buy his branded clothing, if you wear a TMT hat, like state-sponsored terrorism has been a problem in the past. This is it's basically like state-sponsored domestic violence. So if you're buying his garments and his things, you hate women.
So, Lim, are you
And
not
you
going to
should
watch
burn.
this fight?
I don't think so. Just because I love Conor too much and I don't want to see my baby get hurt.
I'm gonna watch it, man. Like, you know what I'm
pervert.
intrigued by about this fight? I'm intrigued to see how bad Conor is at boxing. Like, that's what's intriguing me.
It'll
I
be
just want
bad.
to see how he looks.
That's the reason why I'm not going to watch it, Hamada, because I know it's going to be that bad. You know, like, look, my affectations towards Conor is creepy. You guys don't even want to know the lengths towards my obsession with the guy, but I mean, I'm not dumb enough to think that he has any kind of chance against Floyd. I mean, he might catch him a couple of times with decent shots that probably won't even hit Floyd flush, but after Floyd figures him out, like the dumbest misnomer that I've heard about this fight is that because Conor presents awkward movements, somehow that's like this thing that Floyd has never encountered. Like, just because something is awkward doesn't mean that it's more difficult than what Floyd has experienced in the past. These are guys that specialize in boxing. For example, Zab Judah, to me, when he was at his peak, when Floyd fought him, like, he was one of the trickiest motherfuckers to figure out. And that, to me, is just on so many levels above what Conor can possibly do against Floyd, that, you know, just because he does some weird shit with his arms or his feet doesn't mean that Floyd's going to be perplexed. He's probably just going to look at him like, what the fuck was that? Like, what was the purpose of what you just did?
You see, Lim, people are talking about Conor's awkwardness and stuff like that, yeah? But how awkward is Floyd going to be for Conor? Like, does people not think like that? Like, how awkward is Conor seeing how fast that straight right hand is when Conor's trying to punch him and he's hitting him on his shoulders and Mayweather's making him miss and all this? Like, it's ludicrous for someone to even think that Conor's going to be awkward for Floyd. Floyd's going to be the awkward one for Conor.
The thing with awkward, I think awkward is just an easy word for people who can't break down the sport of boxing just because they haven't watched it enough. It's an easy term for them to use for anything that isn't normal. You know, so like if I spar someone who has never, you know, professionally sparred or who has ever sparred anyone good in their life and they do like a wrong thing with their footwork, I don't call that awkward. I call that terrible technique.
The awkward is just like it's a nice way of calling something shit.
No, there's styles that are awkward and they're advantageous, but there's also awkward that's just shit. You know, it's like when I meet somebody in public and they're not good with girls because I call them awkward. I'm not saying that that's a good thing. Like, you're just fucking awkward. You suck. So I don't put much credence to that, honestly. But at the end of the day,
the other thing is how big a puncher really is he? How big a puncher is he?
I do think he's pretty heavy-handed, but again, Floyd has fought heavy-handed.
Floyd's chin is legit. He's legit. It's proper legit.
Like, I would venture to say that Maidana has more power than Conor. I would say Shane Mosley has more power than Conor. Okay. I would say even Zab Judah has as much power as Conor. So, I mean, Floyd has faced heavy punchers his entire career.
Imagine Maidana on with those little UFC gloves on. People would be getting fucking splattered all over the place, wouldn't they? He would have knocked out the guys that Conor's knocked out, right?
Oh yeah, absolutely. The only thing that I'll say about Conor is that he does have a nice straight left hand. He does, but it's still.
But he's a counter puncher, right? That's what I've head and read. He's not a comfortable. I hate this.
Let's head over there. But I'm more disappointed. Like, shit, man. Like, I know Tevin Farmer was being mentioned as a Gervonta opponent, and I would have been happy with that fight. But, you know, obviously, unfortunately for Tevin, you know, he actually got shot recently. So, you know, obviously that fight couldn't come through. But I mean, who the fuck is this guy that Gervonta's fighting? Like,
it's a footballer.
Like, what the fuck is that?
I googled him. I'm not even joking. I googled him. And the first thing that came up was a footballer.
Yeah, well,
like
Francesco
that's
Fonseca
very bad.
Is a bit of a footballer name.
And can I just say one last thing about us boxing fans? We're the worst people in the world. Like, I mean, we've seen us on Twitter. Like, none of us are good people, but like us crying about. Oh, the effects from Canelo, Triple G. Oh, it's terrible, isn't it? Oh, Floyd's damaged the sport. That's their fucking job. That's their fucking job. They can do their fucking job. Golden Boy and fucking the other guys, K2, that's their fucking problem. That's not our fucking problem.
Yep.
I'm whinging about that shit. It's fucking get on and do your fucking job then.
Talking about Paulie, another guy who just took such a massive L, Oscar De La Hoya, this entire build-up, just acting like a fucking pussy about every situation. Like, if
crying.
It's like motherfucker, you said on an interview 3 months prior to this fight being actually made that you wouldn't mind seeing Canelo versus McGregor. Like, you're the fucking worst. Like, this is a guy that can't even handle his own organization, so the only good asset that he had within his company left. So what are you now? You're a fucking promotion that's predicated on one single fighter to generate all of your income. Like, these fucking guys, man, they have the audacity to shit on things and just do something good. That's why I think I like Eddie Hearn more of you guys, because he actually does his fucking job.
He shits on stuff as well, though. Don't get that twisted.
But he did a better job, right?
He knows what he's doing. He's a salesman. He's a very, very good salesman. Don't think anyone was going to take that away from Hearn. But look, I don't mind Oscar shitting on it, but telling people not to buy it just looks like so cryy. Go to work and go and do your work and say, this fight is a fucking farce between, I've got these two guys, proper guys, and sell it and go do your, you're up against, I know Floyd is a big name, but you can surely do better work than you have been doing rather than just crying.
Yeah.
Listen, at the end of the day, this whole Floyd going 2 weeks before, it's not going to stop Canelo Triple G from happening. So I don't care. If it stopped the fight from happening, then I'll be mad. Then I'll be angry. Then I'll be saying this is bullshit. But the fight's still going to happen on September 16th. So I'm not going to cry about it like these bitch-ass guys on Twitter. Oh, the real fight's in 2 weeks. The best fight in boxing in 2 weeks. No, it's going to happen regardless. So just wait for 2 weeks, innit? Fucking
just mock it. I don't mind people saying there's a better fight in 2 weeks and telling people that. Do that. We're doing his work for him, telling him this shit. But it's just frustrating that boxing fucking eats itself up with shit like this, isn't it? It's just tiresome, man.
This is kind of a separate discussion, but the Floyd McGregor fight did fuck that fight kind of up in the ass pretty bad. I mean, they trolled the fuck out of them. To have this fight just 2 weeks prior to it, what a big fuck you to them. But you're absolutely right. They should still work to promote it better. And that's true. And this might boost sales. Honestly, like if Floyd and McGregor is such a farce, they can easily use that to their advantage.
I'm going to say another thing as well. I don't care if a couple of 100,000 fucking spastic casuals don't watch Triple G and Canelo. Yeah. It really doesn't fucking mean anything to me. I don't care about their money.
Yep.
I do not care, unlike Floyd fans who only seem to fucking care about his money. I don't care about Triple G and Canelo's money.
TMT, bro.
Fucking worst people ever.
Fuck him. He's a fucking arsehole. Someone shoot him. I can't stand that man. That man is a fucking idiot. He's been crying, whining, bitching. All it goes through his mind is that video of him getting knocked down by Conor McGregor, MMA guy in sparring. Pussy.
Okay, the Boxing Coalition does not condone Paulie Malignaggi getting shot in the head. So let's just put that out there. Let's quickly go through this undercard then. We kind of touched on it. We touched upon it before. Cleverly Jack. Cleverly just too easy to hit. He blocks punches with his face. He comes forward, and I think the straight punches from Jack should just pick him off. I don't think he'll stop him, but I think it'll be easy for Jack.
Yeah, I was trying to build that fight up more than kind of necessary, just because the rest of the card is just such shit.
But I think he's a good fight for Jack. And I am picking Cleverly because I'm never backing down and I'm never not using the word bumdoo Jack. So, war Cleverly and knock him out in size 6.
What do you think about it?
Oh, easy work for Badu Jack. Cleverly's a bum. So it's easy work for Badu Jack. No, I'm joking. Clev's not a bum. Clev's got a high work rate. He's a very fit guy. He's not a very good boxer.
But it's a good win. If Jack beats him well, it's a good win.
Nah, it's not really a good win.
It is for your first fight.
He's a paper champ.
He's a top 10 guy.
Always been a paper champ.
Top 15 guy.
Not 14,
Top 15.
probably 13,
Yeah,
14, 15.
That's better than what most people do at their first fight when they jump up. And I hate, you know me. I love another thing. I love how Yanks, they love to claim a Euro bum, don't they? They shit on Euro bums, and they fucking claim this one. You're the fucking worst.
I don't know who's claiming him. Who's claiming him?
Oh, we know who's claiming him.
I
don't know. I think it's easy work for Jack, man. Jack's just gonna the jab, straight right hand, the body punching as well. Clev's just gonna come forward, with the high guard and block punches with his gloves and his face, and should be easy work for Buddy Jack, man. And Buddy Jack, but the winner has to fight Bivol, though.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, Bivol's the mandatory for the winner. So
Bivol Chucks, that's a good fight, man.
Exactly. No, I was gonna say that's a good fight because I think Badu actually would probably be bigger, not bigger, but taller and lankier than Bivol. So that'd be a good fight.
Just on the undercard again, we kind of touched upon Gervonta Davis and his unfamiliar opponent. Delorme, as Nyota was talking about, he's got a rescheduled opponent because Porter pulled out. I think he had a death in the family and a few other things. Or he probably just been missing weight or something, and who knows. Interesting one. Savannah Marsh.
That's the fourth fight on the billing, that Delorme fight.
I don't know how.
But no one wants to fight Porter, though. No, that's what I heard. No one wants to fight him.
I don't know how it's going to be, because I think some of the undercards going to be featured on one of the normal US channels. I don't know if it's Fox or if it's another one. It might be CBS. I'm not sure.
No, it's Fox.
It's Fox? Steve Cunningham's on there against Andrew Tabalti, but I'm interested in Savannah Marshall because it's her debut. She signed to TMT. I didn't even know this until recently, but yeah, she signed to TMT, and she's fighting someone that Clarissa Shields fought in her third fight, and yeah, it's pretty crazy.
Well,
Marshall's got
typical Floyd.
No.
Getting a woman as a sparring partner is fucking disgusting.
Oh, you stole my joke, Leon. Fuck. I was just going to say that she signed with TMT because she heard the sparring was really good against women. So, anyway.
But yes, Marshall's the only person to get a win over Shields. She beat her in 2012 at a tournament in China. So that seems to be a fight that's going to be coming down the line pretty soon, I guess.
I find that titillating.
But that's about it for that card. To me, I think the fight of the year and probably the better card is the one on the Friday. We're going to get to Cotto in a minute, but Toriana Johnson versus Sergey Derevenchenko, and Emmanuel Lim, who fought Kaitrov, he's fighting Hugo Santucci Jr. So,
oh my boy,
that double header, man. That's on Friday, the Bella card on Fox Sports 1 in Oklahoma, man. I think that's a really good card.
Hugo's fighting at 160?
154.
Oh, good.
Yo,
man.
Did you just say in Oklahoma?
Yeah,
yeah, bro.
You know PBC just put fights in
wow,
random
boxing
places.
in Oklahoma?
Yeah.
It's PBC, bro.
There's a lot of Russian people in Oklahoma, man.
Really?
No.
Then what the fuck?
I know. It's PBC, man.
But where is that? I know Kimo sent me a screenshot the other day. Where's this, the Super Series with our boy Kudryashov, Leon? He's fighting Doriankis. It's in some weird random place, isn't it?
Yeah,
San Antonio.
Texas or something, I don't know.
Crazy.
So they're taking is he Cuban, French Cuban or something, and a big mad Russian? Makes no sense.
Mexican style, isn't it? Mexican style,
that's racist.
That's a good card, though.
No,
Yeah, the main event that's a good fight.
No,
that's a crazy fight. Like both of them, I think only one fight of theirs has gone the distance. Both of them. I read that the other day. I mean, fucking hell. Someone's definitely getting knocked out in that fight. Definitely.
No, yeah, but we noticed that sometimes when those kind of fights occur, like a knockout doesn't happen. surprisingly. So.
Yeah, it's
I'm a bit
sometimes.
surprised at one of those situations.
No, with a Russian hammer, someone's always getting knocked out.
Yeah.
Either him or the other guy. Like, he can't do no 12 rounds.
No,
Like
you talk
the
about
Russian
Turi-
Hammer will knock himself out if no one's knocking anyone out.
Right. Are we talking about the wrong fight now?
Yeah, I don't know which fight you guys. I thought we went back to Toriano Johnson versus.
This thing's gone off the rails.
Yeah, you guys are just all over the place, man.
When you're talking about a guy who's never fought in a boxing ring, fighting arguably the best fighter of his generation, we can talk about whatever the fuck we want.
Yeah, but Lim, you speak highly of Hugo. You seen him work at the wild card, have you not?
No, he's not good. I like him as a person, but he's not a good fighter.
Who's that? That's rude.
Hugo Centurion Jr. is fighting Emmanuel Lim, who initially was my fight of the year against Kaitra, but then,
Why did Centennial get iced in his last fight?
No, it wasn't his last fight, no.
It was the one before, I think, and it was because he fought at 160. He's a small. He's not even a big 154 pounder. So he was fighting at 160 because he's a lazy fuck. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know about anything about the other
Triple
guy.
G work and sparring. Is that true?
No, that's what they say. That's what they say.
I heard he dropped him like 5 times.
Yeah, I'm sure that's possible.
I'm interested to see how Johnson comes back though, because he had a tune-up, and before that, I think he badly missed weight when he was supposed to be on the undercard, and before that, he had a year off, I think, shoulder issues and stuff. So I'm going to favour Derevchenko because when I've seen him, the upper body movement's good, the combinations are good, so I'll favour him. But I think it'll be a proper tear-up, as they say, Leon. But going back to Saturday, StubHub, Ski Mask Joe's going to be in the building. And we kind of differ again, Leon. Cotto versus Kamagai. You were saying earlier that you think Kamagai's going to win. Please tell me you're trolling.
Of course, I'm always going to pick against Cotto. But, yeah, I would love it if Kamagai did win, just for the, for the lols. But, no, I think Cotto will break him down.
Yeah.
But it won't be easy. I don't think it'll be easy because I think Cotto slipped that much.
No, I think it'd be easy, man.
Has he?
Kamagai's shit, bro.
Has he really?
Kamagai's terrible, man.
What's Cotto's last fight?
Well,
It's Canelo, right?
Yeah, which was fucking horrendous performance.
Wow. So Cotto ain't fought in 2 years, basically.
I thought the fight was shit, but I don't think Cotto looked that bad.
He did shit all. He didn't even try and win that fight.
I know, but the Kamagai sucked ass cheeks. Leon. He is fucking shit.
He'll bring it.
This
You're
guy
a
had
horrible racist, Dan. Shitting on your own Asian brother, man.
Hey, that's
Pushing your own
racist.
Asian brother under the fucking train like that, man.
That's racist. I shouldn't employ that. But anyways, Kamagai had a fucking
I don't know
rematch.
what you're thinking, Leon. That's just wishful thinking, man.
Oh, it's wishful thinking. I know he's not going to win, but I want him to win. That's it.
He's getting iced. Like Cotto's gonna knock him out in round 5.
Left hook to the body.
Left hook to the head.
Kamagai.
He's gonna rip his head off his shoulders, man. Cotto's a beast, man. Cotto on the friendly watch has been really good. He just shut the bed against Canelo. He just really.
The thing that, fucking heck. Did Kamagai fight after that second fight against Soto Cross? Him?
I'm just checking now. He has not fought since that rematch, no.
This fight is probably one of the most just. I don't know what the right description is, but it's just like it'll be to go to that fight live will be one of the weirdest experiences I think one person can put themselves through. I mean, against the one of the biggest events of the year in the same sport, and I use that word lightly, and to be in that situation, it's like I don't know what the right comparison is, but it's like going to like some kind of like concert, like some kind of rendition band, while the other band is literally playing right next door to you. Like it's a really, really strange situation. I think
it's like going to a fight with Ski Mask Joe. I mean, why would you do it? It's a weird fucking thing to do.
Lim, that's
is
like
Rob Palmer going to be there?
Yeah, of course he is.
Lim, that's
Setting
like
up his dad again.
Jay-Z having a concert on the same night as someone like someone like Stormzy.
I like Stormzy though.
You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just the disparity. Like, it's just complete two different worlds, mate. Like, is anyone even gonna go to the fucking Cotto fight?
Yeah,
No,
just
but it
ski mask, Joe.
it would be the Hamada that Jay-Z and Stormzy would have to play in literally the same venue, but Stormzy would play like in some small section, like in the back of the dressing room, you know, and you decide to go to that instead of the Jay-Z concert, which is still acceptable towards you. So, but
So the truth is, the only people that are gonna go to the fucking Cotto fight are just fucking cheapskates that probably just shoot, fuck it. I can't afford to. I don't even want to spend no money on Vegas, so I'm just gonna buy a ticket for $10.
No, but fuck it. Why
So
spend
this is
$100 for a pay-per-view where you probably get a seat at the StubHub?
For less than that, you get a seat at the StubHub for probably $10.
That's what I'm saying. That's that.
So yeah, them
makes
kind of
sense.
people's gonna be there.
You get a selfie with Steve Kim. You're winning, aren't you?
Yeah.
exactly, that counts for a lot.
Drinking
Fucking
vodka
hell.
in the car park of Steve Kim. New life low.
That one.
There's nothing like going to a boxing event and seeing groupies of Steve Kim lying outside of a bar. I've seen it happen before in person, and it's the major lulls.
That's a hell right.
I
there.
want to meet him more than I want to meet any boxer.
Yep. Just undercard wise, Naoto they mentioned before, Ray Vargas makes his first defense of the WBC strap he won as a veteran when he fought
Against who?
Gavin McDonald. But yeah, he's fighting Ronnie Rios, but I don't really rate Rios. I've seen him.
He's
a few times.
gonna beat Rios up, isn't he?
Yeah, Rios has got one loss to Castellanos, but overall he's not that good. He's not got that much power either. I don't think so.
He might get iced.
He might. Yeah,
Or
Vargas.
stopped. Mercy's, beaten up on the ropes, maybe, something like that.
Yeah.
Because I thought he could have stopped McDonald, don't you?
Yeah, but it's
Did-
crazy
he
when Ian John Lewis gave that a draw and it was a majority decision. That was terrible, man.
I am the referee.
He's the fucked up referee. But what else?
He's
we
the
got?
worst referee.
I think that's about.
A man with 3 first names. For fuck's sake.
On Tuesday, Fox Sports, Juan Carlos Payano returns, and that's about it. And Naoto did mention on Sunday in Japan. I can't pronounce these names, Naoto, man. Takushi Fukuhara versus Ryu Yamanaka. So I have no idea. So just listen to.
I just want to bring up one thing though. Like, is our show gonna be okay moving forward? Because I personally just don't feel comfortable with like some of the tension that I've experienced today, especially with everything that's going on here in the States. Like, I don't feel comfortable with that kind of stuff.
Don't drag us into your race wars.
I'm gonna fight it with fire and fury, like my president said, fire and fury. Oh, I love being an
I hate
American.
orange people.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, man.
As long as you like yellow people, that's all that matters, Leon.
Yeah. You're my favourites.
Thank you.
I think we're going to be okay, Dan. I think we can move past this. It's been a fractious evening, but
That certainly has.
we're all grown adults here. We're grown adults, and we will mature and deal with this off air.
Definitely.
Yeah.
I don't know what I'm talking about anymore.
No, it's getting late. You guys got anything else you want to talk about?
No, just Mayweather McGregor. I mean, let's all face it. We're all probably going to watch it at some point. So
Yeah.
yeah.
But what is with
I don't know.
Chemo picking McGregor to stop him inside 3? Is he mental?
No, he's trolling. He views it quite less than I do. Like, I'm such a sucker, and I've turned into such a casual, and I watch so many McGregor motivational videos that I actually think he has a chance. But I was just too embarrassed to say that. Like, it's like one of
Pick
those
him, Dan.
things.
Pick him.
I mean, I can't. I really can't. Like, the reason why I'm not watching this fight isn't because I have like some kind of moral obligation against it. It's just because I just like Conor so much that I just don't want to see him get embarrassed, which I know what's going to happen, unfortunately.
There's nothing funnier than when boxing fans cry kind of ill morality, is there?
Yeah. No, I hate
that.
I
It's
hate
a fucking worst.
Like, you're so above the rest of society that you can't watch this fight. It's like, really? Like, are you fucking kidding me? Like, it's laughable.
We watch a sport that's riddled with drug cheats, preluded on fucking how much money you can make, people not willing to work with each other because they're on different. Like, we can't take the moral high ground on fucking anything. We've been to the box unboxing shows. That one at that Quig Frampton, half the people were out there nut on coke and drinking. I mean, what morality do we have? I mean, that was an absolute full of lunatics, wasn't it, Cam? That fight. I mean, the idea that we can look down on anything is laughable, really.
Yep.
Cam, you didn't tell me that you were doing coke and drinking.
He
alcohol.
wasn't. For God's sake, Lim.
I know. It was a goddamn joke, man.
I've got another side of me, Lim, that you've not seen yet.
Yeah, dark, evil side.
Cam is the most wholesome human being I think I've ever met in my life. But not to say for a different time.
He's our rock.
I am indeed.
That's it, man. I have
right.
nothing to say. I'm literally speechless. I don't know what I can possibly say about this weekend's fight that would, give person any kind of information.
I'm worried what we have said. I can't remember what I have said. What has been said.
I just think the highlight.
It's gonna be bad.
I think the highlight of the show was our Rigo argument, where we got into a heated argument, but we have essentially agreed upon the same thing. So
we all agreed, apart from Nelta. Surprise, surprise.
Yeah, exactly. surprise. I think Leon was so thrilled when Nauta initially agreed with him, and then he heard how kind of off the rails he went. He was like, I don't know if I want
And
to align
disassociated himself. Stepped away.
Yeah, pull away from that one.
Yeah, but Lim, I wanted to get into a Game of Thrones discussion with you, but as you mentioned to me before the show started, you've not watched it because you heard of some leaks and you just couldn't bear watching it. So if anyone hasn't watched the show so far, skip forward. But who knew that the Night King was so handy with the javelin, Lim?
Dude, is this really the proper forum for us to be discussing this?
Look, I don't watch that show. I don't watch that show, but I saw that clip, and I'm a big animal lover, and that really, I was heartbroken watching that.
Dude, there's nothing that
That's
affects
the only...
watching it. It broke my heart, man.
It did.
And the fact that it was resurrected, it kills me, dude.
Yeah, and then why
he came back.
Why is Uncle Benji just always randomly showing up to save Jon Snow, man? It's just
because you know why? Let me say one thing, because this show has gone off the rails. And the thing is, when you're dealing with a piece of work that's so complex like Game of Thrones, like you can have different opinions about whether you think Game of Thrones or A Song of Ice and Fire, the book series, is a good, piece of literature, but it is so incredibly complex that it's not made for television. And the thing is, when you have a template that you could just draw from in creating the first 6 seasons of the episode, that's easy. But when you only have 14 episodes left and you need to make all of these storylines mesh to some degree, you're inexplicably going to fail. And this show has kind of gone off the rails. A lot of things are super sloppy, and they just make things very convenient so that they can have explanations for certain things. For example, like the dragon dying in that fashion and then coming back to life in that context probably would not have happened in the book. It was just such a stupid
decision. Tell you that. I can tell you because I've read the books because, I'm a pure hipster and I've read the books and because I love dragons. Big fan of dragons and wizards and warlocks and all that kind of dwarfs. Really big on dwarfs. And those books, they're complicated pieces of work. Lim.
Yeah.
Real game changers. Yeah. I can't recommend them enough. Also, a big fan of Harry Potter books.
Fucking Harry Potter stuff.
What else am I? Oh, there's another. Yeah, that's good. There's some other good books in the child section of the bookshop as well. Yeah, I'm a big fan.
Okay, I see where you're going. Yeah, I
don't know. I haven't watched any of it or read any of it. I'm going to watch it one day.
But Lim, piggybacking off what you said as well. Also, it was rather convenient that the White Walker army just found a big bunch of massive chains to take the dragon out of the water. Like that was very convenient.
But that's not. That obviously super convenient, but the thing is, their whole plan to go north just doesn't make any sense at all. Because even if you are successful in that, you can't convince. You have to be smart enough to know that you can't convince Cersei to actually help you, even if you do convince her that these things are real. So, anyways, I'm going off a diatribe right now about something that most of the chat probably doesn't give a fuck about, but it's something that is deeply kind of moving for me because I hate seeing any kind of animals get killed, even if they're completely fictitious.
I understand, Lim. Back to the boxing. I don't think you guys will.
No, there's nothing worse than an animal. When I was growing up as a child, I could never watch Lassie Like, that used to break my heart, Lassie. Like, you get that lump in your throat where you want to cry. I don't know how anyone can watch an animal die. It's the most disturbing thing.
Have you guys seen the movie The Lobster?
Nope.
Yes.
Dude,
Yeah.
when the dog scene, like, come on. If you guys haven't seen The Lobster,
films off if a dog dies. I feel like telling them off. I would kill 100 people to get my dog back. My old dog. 100 lives.
That's some dedication for your old dog, man.
I don't like humans. Animals are much better.
Shit.
I can easily find 100 people I don't like to get my dog back. Easy, Cam. Easy work.
Just look through Twitter.
Just start with boxers. Just start with the 126-pound division, Leon, and then you'll get your dog.
Move to 154.
Yeah, or maybe that'll be another good topic for a different show. Like, what weight class would you want to kill every single person in that involved weight class? Like, breaking down the hierarchy of that. But
all right, I don't think you guys got any final thoughts, do you?
Nope. Just watch the movie The Lobster if you have a chance. It's a really funny film about a dystopian society where, if you do not find love within 45 days, you could turn to an animal of your choice. Thought it was a really good movie.
Very nice, very nice. Leon, Tim, thank you guys. Also to Naota and Hamada earlier. Thank you to all the people in the chat and all the people that download the show week in, week out. We'll be back next week. Peace.
You just listened to the Boxing Coalition.
Oh, dude, man, I love boxing. I fucking love boxing.
A big shout out to the Boxing Coalition.
You're a newbie.
No, I ain't new, man.
If my fucking next door neighbour became the #1 flyweight in the world, you know what I'd do? I'd fucking want plastic on.
Derek, how you doing, bro?
I was physically burn you, blood.
I disagree.
First time I hear the song, man, it was fucking badass.
Vamos a Argentina, la concha de su madre.
I see the bomb in them.
I get home and she's like, what the fuck? Me and the kid are here. Why don't you get home and talk to us? I'm like, man, you guys don't know shit about boxing.
Kel, how does it feel to be the new IBF champion?
Feels great. Did we really dive into the black hole right off the jump?
I think he's hiding glass.
Just to play devil's advocate.
You want 1 portion of crow or 2 portions of crow?
Give me 2 portions with a supersized fries and a large drink, please.
I can't stand him, what? I'm Scottish.
Cringe side?
But you won't rush Anthony fucking fat ass Joshua, would you?
He's not fat.
How about you tell us what you weigh for your final thoughts?
My weight?
Thank you for listening to the Boxing Coalition. We are live every Monday, 10 p.m. to 1 a.m. UK time, 5 p.m. to 8 p.m. Eastern.